All right, and I am recording.
Excellent.
So go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Muir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fen Moya, and this is Echo. I stream on Twitch and I make videos on YouTube. But all right, on to Tats.
Yes, I am Tats. Well, actually, I am Terry Candlestick. You can find me on Terry Candlestick on Blue Sky and YouTube. Been a little while since I've been a little sick, so we missed last week, which I didn't want to hear the whole time. So, and so that's this cat. Now we'll go down to the Dogtown with.
Yeah, to be fair, in my town there is a road called Dogtown Road. So, but I don't live there. This is Kaiser Hound. You can also find me on Blue Sky at Kaiser Hound, and it's 18 plus. Yeah, they're finally getting some furry porn on Blue Sky, so we are getting there, people. We just got to keep going. All the not safe for work furry artists, come on down to Blue Sky, so that I can repost you and see all the goodness, all the goodness.
All the goodness.
But yeah, we're
All the
here for
goodness.
the lore-breaking route, which is TJ, that shatters any kind of holistic view of Echo, which is why I hate it. But we'll get into that, I'm sure, at some point here. All the out of character people and the lore that doesn't make sense with all the with the four other runs and whatnot.
What do you mean that furry adult stuff that's now just making its way to Blue Sky? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's been there for a while. I only recently joined Blue Sky,
Okay,
and
well,
it's pretty
I
much been
was
there the whole
only
time.
finding it, I have been removing myself just to try to keep myself sane from, being too online. So I was just scrolling the hashtag, Echo VN or whatever it was, and
Specific.
finding the Flynn and thongs and other things, other
Okay.
more risque things to
I see what you
repost.
mean.
So I'm
Specifically
sure there's
just
probably other
Echo art.
hashtags that you should totally send to me, and so I could see them all.
Specifically just Echo stuff. Okay, sounds good. Because I was thinking you could just go to, something like an Eldorado of Bohemians or something like that and not worry about it.
Okay,
All
Eldorado
right,
Bohemians.
so
Okay, I got to write that down. Damn it! I have no pen and paper around me. I
curses.
have nothing to make a note. Damn it!
Damn it, I'll have to watch the video later.
Send it to me. Yes.
We are
I
27
told you
minutes
my
in.
Blue Sky. Send it to me.
All right. Hello, Miss Gaming. How are you? All right, let's go ahead and get on into it. So it was Thursday last time.
Here we go. Mine's going
Yeah,
to
no tacos. Not that on. Not
Thursday.
on that tea
Thursday.
day. No.
Yeah.
There's a dull throbbing in my head when I wake up. A remnant of the raging headache I'd had yesterday. I take some Tylenol when TJ goes into the bathroom so he doesn't see. I don't want to worry him. While he's taking one of his insanely long showers, Phil called out, I go down to the lobby and get some breakfast. When I
To be
come back
fair,
into the when I come back into the room balancing two When I come back into the room, balancing
sorry.
2 plates full of bagels, bacon, and eggs, I'm surprised to see TJ already done. He's busy brushing his fur in the mirror, trying to tame the comical fluffed up look he has going on.
I can't believe I forgot my shampoo. Look at how ridiculous I look.
He holds his arms out to me and Jenna. Jenna grunts, not really paying attention as she types away furiously on her laptop.
I was gonna say just Tylenol, the highly personal medicine that you definitely don't want anyone to see you ever taking. I mean, that's like super personal. Like no one should see that.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
No,
most important thing.
Well,
Acetaminophen, no one can see you take that.
well, I think he just didn't want to worry TJ because TJ's real sensitive and doesn't want anyone really knowing that he's got like something going on. He doesn't want to worry his friends. I think that's more it.
what was the joke? What was the joke?
You're on a chode?
I think it's kind of cute.
TJ smiles.
You mean funny?
No, you just look a little chubby, you twink. I mean, what is that? A whole pound of fat on your belly? I mean, gah. You had like a carb yesterday, TJ. That's against God.
I smirk at TJ's mortified look as I set the plates down on the table, which forces Jenna to push her laptop aside for a moment. TJ opens a packet of jam and butter before spreading it neatly on a bagel cut in half. I watch as some of it sticks to the long fur around his mouth as he nibbles at it. He wipes it away with a napkin only to start the process over again.
It's so sad that you're going to spend all your time doing homework, Jenna.
Oh, good evening, Ace. Nice to see you.
Welcome, Ace.
Yeah, because in her route, she doesn't even do any homework. So this is such a contrivance, and she's out of character. But, what do I know?
I'm taking
Other than
two
all the
mid
lore.
I'm taking two midterms on Monday I'm taking two midterms the Monday we get back. So it's fairly necessary, TJ. Jenna doesn't even look up from her laptop as she responds, focused solely on whatever it is she's typing. I'm pretty sure she just shoved half a bagel into her mouth before she went back to work. TJ sits there quietly for a moment, taking another bite.
You think you'll have time to do anything today? Okay, and now, Fen, when you do Jenna, you have to make it sound like there's something in your mouth.
Okay, I have to imagine there's being something in my mouth. Okay.
Actually, you should just go get some bread and then just shove it in your mouth and like
Yeah, no, we do this realistic. You have to get a bagel.
that or suck on your thumb or something while you're doing it.
Jenna doesn't answer for a few seconds. The only sound is the faint patter of the keyboard. Finally, she stops and looks up for the first time in probably an hour.
Yeah, she's like me trying to write a script where just like, don't get between me and the keyboard. Don't. You don't want to get between me and the keyboard.
Put a piece of cardboard in front of your face to just watch you go absolutely insane.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I have a lot of work to do. Why don't you two go out and do something?
We will. It would just be nice if you could go with us.
I snort.
Yeah, come with us to do more work at Janice's house again.
TJ lowers his ears. Again? TJ takes another bite of his bagel and doesn't look up, and it doesn't look like he's going to say anything. I sigh.
Yeah, she cornered him and got him to say we do more work. I mean, TJ, the one time I will ever let you say no is to Janice. You can't say no to me, but you can say no to Janice.
I don't know who Janice is. Do you mean Jaundice?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
There's no Janice. There's only
she was
Jaundice.
getting healthy since yesterday. I mean, her skin got slightly less yellow.
No, it's still
She went to
yellow.
the doctor, a nice liver shot.
No, she's still got lamplight. She's still got lamplight skin. Yeah.
Jenna rolls her eyes and returns her attention back to the laptop. Jenna's taking advantage of people? Shocker.
Jenna.
TJ protests quietly. You know, she used to give me some sort of a sob story at the diner to get me to tip better. TJ frowns.
Well, she does have a tough life, Jenna.
Despite being annoyed with having to go back to jaundices, I find myself siding with TJ.
I mean, in the 60s or 70s, she did run over, a cougar sex worker. I mean, that trauma is just carried with her forever, Jenna. You should tip more. But anyway, I think you should do whatever you can here to make money. It's probably hard to own a house just as a waitress who runs over cats.
Yeah, well, maybe don't be a waitress in a crap town. She could at least try to find something else that if it's that hard. TJ's still frowning, his ears down. I can tell he wants to say something more, but Jenna is an intimidating figure to try and argue with. It's quiet for another minute before Jenna sighs loudly. Sorry, I'm just a little stressed right now. I have a lot of stuff to get done.
It's all right. I wish she could help you out.
Jenna laughs without any humor. I wish you could too. TJ falls silent, staring at a small piece of bagel held between his fingers. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I take it out, surprised to see a text from Carl. Man, we haven't received any information from Leo this route. I think he's just angry or something.
Yeah, he is angry.
Yeah, he's kind of out of character, yeah.
I cannot believe you choose a cat over me. That is so messed up.
Yeah. What is your problem, you piece of crap?
It's Carl.
He should be still stalking you and, be around vaguely. But, yeah, this is the one route where, no, he's just going to be out of character.
I
And
turn and
just
look
don't
out
wanna
the
talk about it.
window. I turn and look out the window and see red fur disappear all of a sudden. When I go to open the door, I have the distinct smell of someone muscly and very large. And motor oil, for some reason.
Tacos.
Go for it, Carl.
You.
I stare at it for a moment.
Huh?
Did they not text each other?
I?
Who is it?
TJ asks around his last bite of bagel,
Oh,
holding a napkin daintily in front of his mouth as he chews.
Should I do it again since he had his bagel?
No, you're fine. He just sounds like a murloc.
Okay, he's a mind flare now,
You just hear his voice echo in your mind.
Yes, a mouthful, unlocks TJ's telepathy powers,
Mm-hmm.
So, Carl.
Carl. Jenna's typing stops again. Really? How's he doing?
I don't know. He seems okay. From the one word that I've exchanged with him, I can totally tell his demeanor and his physical abilities. After, being so drugged out, he passed out in random places. I could totally tell all of that from the one word.
Yeah, he's just like, yo, and you know that he's doing fine, got into college, got a new job, and everything's just fantastic.
I guess
He got the job at the copier shop. His relationship with Flynn's going great. Yeah, you can tell all the things.
Well, I guess it just means that you can safely say he's not doing badly because he's going yo, which
that is correct.
Well, at least his thumb still works to type. So, at least one of his digits is still functional.
This is true.
This is true.
I mean, one of his little hoofs,
It's
can
true.
still
True,
type.
it's
true. It's
true.
true. It's true.
I realized then that I hadn't really had a chance to ask Jenna or anyone else what happened with Carl yesterday.
Where was he? Leo said you guys found him.
Yeah. Jenna pauses, staring at the screen of her laptop.
What happened? My best friend who mysteriously disappeared, that we're assuming was on such a drug bender that just disappeared, my best friend, I'm not gonna ask. Why would I do that? I have Twink. Twink is mine. My Twink.
Mine.
Mine.
Really don't know. Flynn found him in a crawl space, apparently.
The crawl space?
For some reason, I get chills running up my arms.
Spiders.
Spiders.
What in the world was he doing down there?
Jenna shakes her head. When I went down there, he was just sitting on the ground and Flynn told me to leave. I raise my brows, and TJ gives me a confused look. He was standing in front of him, so I couldn't see. When did she get a lisp? He was standing in front of him?
Like, oh my god,
I like
Ellie
it when
girl.
He was standing in front of him, so I couldn't see him. Like, if he was upset or something.
Also, on a side note, I like how the smoke room actually answers what James Hendricks the first, which is the ghost that's inhabiting Carl, is looking for, and also that the crawl space is a place that all Hendrickses use to hide their secret info.
I see.
Yeah, that's like a family tradition of putting the secret family files in that space,
The super
along with
secret
their
family files.
along with their ice cream.
And the
'Cause
ice
that's the
cream.
But, yeah, that actually becomes lore. So, again, that's
Nice.
one of the reasons that I love the smoke room is because like, it actually answers that in a way, like,
Hmm.
anyway, what was he doing other than looking for a secret entrance to the mine because the ghost told him to?
Jenna shrugs. Flynn took him upstairs and we left after that.
Was he like drunk or something?
TJ seems to try and word it delicately. Jenna shrugs again, then turns back to her writing. He's always high, isn't he? I
This
look back
420
down at
will
my
make it just
phone.
sorry.
Wanna hang out? Oh, Carl, go for it.
Well, 'cause, 420 will just, make you pass out random places. I mean, I get high all the time and, last night I woke up in, my city park on a
Mhm.
bench. y- Totally off and also
Your
covered in blood. Did I mention that when I did I forget to mention that? You
Yeah, it's just
know, that had some brain on it. Anyway, he got
that. Takes a sec. Figure it out. I look back up at TJ.
what time does Jonas want us to come over? I mean, I know she's like at Ziza, but
Liver disease.
No, I think I'm having another.
And
I think I'm having a spike of lag over here.
clock, you know.
Diabetes o'clock.
Diabetes o'clock. Oh, we at my
Oh,
line now?
TJ.
Okay.
Hey, go.
I'm sorry, I'm having a lag spike over here, so it sounds like everyone's just kind of going robot. We'll go in the evening when it's not so hot.
TJ looks down and lowers his ears again. I don't want TJ to get all apologetic again. I keep talking.
You want to go hang out with Carl? You know, your favorite friend? You know, because you love the 420, TJ? Come on. I'm sure he's got stuff to share. That's
TJ,
not gonna, make you give the munchies and get you all fat for soccer practice. No, no, let's go eat some carbs. Come on, TJ. Come on. Come on. Look at this laser pointer. Oh, I'm putting it on the
TJ
ground and now
smiles.
putting it.
Yeah, chill, dude. Carrying on a little too
All
much.
right.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Getting high.
All right then. Sure, TJ's coming with me. You know, the awesome friend that'll make this party really lit.
For some reason, though, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. Staring out into the parking lot, TJ immediately starts heading for the road while I pause by the car, holding the keys.
TJ, I have car. Car, go vroom. We don't have to walk. TJ,
TJ turns around.
Hmm?
I look up the road towards the foothills of the mountains. Carl's house is an intimidating speck in the distance, barely visible through the heat haze. Oh, did you want to drive?
Oh,
I shield my
did I
eyes
cut
against the
out again?
sun. You did.
Oh, yeah,
Only
let
I
me.
shield my eyes against the sun. Only just over the mountains, but still promising a hellscape by noon.
I mean, did you want to walk? I mean, you love hiking, so this is perfectly in character for you. But car, I have car, so we can
I
see
can
Carl.
I can see TJ's demeanor deflate a little bit as he starts walking back towards me and the car.
We can drive. We can drive.
He smiles at me, but I sigh and shove my keys back into my pocket.
Nah, we can go for a walk. It'll give us more time to talk anyway. You know, the talking in the heat of the sun. You know, no driving, no vroom vroom.
No air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
TJ smiles and waits for me to catch up to him before we start up the road. While I'm not looking forward to trekking back to Jaundic's place in the heat, I'd rather TJ be in an upbeat mood. We're, pr- we're pretty quiet on the way up.
Okay, is it just my end? Because both you guys are cutting out a lot.
It's probably because of your end.
Yeah, probably your
It isn't
end.
until we're passing Jaundic's house that
Okay.
I finally break the silence.
Man, why did you have to say yes?
I groan half teasingly, shoving my shoulder into his, sending him stumbling a little ways into the road.
I'm sorry.
Is it so hard to say no, which you're not allowed to do around me, TJ? Only to Janice. I always get yes.
Only to who?
Jaundice.
Good boy. Good dog. You get
Oh,
you get a
this
Kaiser
will not be
treat
so bad
later.
with Craigs. Oh.
You get a Kaiser snack later. Yeah,
It's the Kaiser snack. It's not a Scooby snack. It's the Kaiser snack.
a Kaiser snack,
Well,
baby.
it's shaped like the helmet with a point on it. So
Well, yeah, it definitely is.
I sigh.
it would be fine if we weren't on vacation with friends we might never see again. Like Carl. Like we'll never
TJ's
see him again.
TJ sulks a bit.
Don't say that.
It's kind of true. I mean, Jenna's gonna abandon us forever. He has like all the money now because she's going to Harvard or fake Harvard or whatever. She's totally never gonna see me again. My bi fantasies will never come true.
Furry,
I remember
furry
that the
Harvard.
trip is already sort of ruined because of Flynn.
Anyway, it's not that easy, Chase. Especially when she's all smiling and expectant like that.
You should stop letting people. You should stop letting people take advantage of you, TJ. Except me. I will take all the advantage of all that. I want all the advantage over you, TJ. Yeah.
TJ stares at the ground.
Sorry.
And stop apologizing, you damn Canadian with all your stories.
TJ flattens his ears, and I realize that my tone might have been a bit too harsh.
Okay, now I'm sorry. I was mostly joking, but it's frustrating to see you get pushed around by someone other than me. I am the one that does the pushing, especially in the cushion.
I don't really get pushed around.
I ignore him.
And getting taken advantage of, by me. So, TJ, get that shirt off. It's hot. Aren't you sweaty, TJ? Come on, just take it off.
She doesn't take advantage of me.
Why do you think she only asks you for these things? I mean, other than cougar reasons that she clearly has on her mind.
He opens his mouth, but I don't let him answer.
Because she knows you'll say yes to the cougar things, also to the yard work. But that's basically the definition of being taken advantage of someone, when she invites you into her special room. TJ, beware.
I nudge him again. I nudge him again with my shoulder, but he manages to not fall into the road this time.
You gotta be a little more assertive. Stand up for yourself more often. With everyone but me, TJ.
So
TJ shoves
just-
his hands into his pockets.
So just say no to people?
Not just when it comes to saying no. Stand up to people being mean to you. Like Clint. I know what he did back in the day to you. I mean, I know you're not a virgin.
I don't mention Flynn, but I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm getting at. I try to give him an encouraging smile, but he doesn't look at me.
It feels great, man. Once you do it once, you can't stop. Look at me. I say no constantly, and I also get walked on by giant gilas. It's the greatest.
Is that why your hand's always in your pants? When you do it once, you can't stop?
I mean, that's why I have these hairy otter palms.
Isn't that why there's, hair growing on your tongue, too?
Ooh.
TJ looks away.
No, isn't it you go blind and you have hair growing out your palms?
Like Chase
That's the
brand
version I heard.
hair grower.
TJ looks away, out into the desert.
It sounds like you just want me to be mean to people. I mean, I should be more assertive with you. Stop being a bitch.
That's right. Also, no. I shake my head.
You can be nice and assertive at the same time.
At the great time.
I've never mastered that as Chase Hunter, but I mean, it's a good combination if you aren't me.
I only look for people to
T-
passive aggressive to.
TJ's quiet for a few minutes as we start the painful uphill portion of the trek towards Carl's mansion.
I do it because I like to do it, you know.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. What?
I'm starting to pant a little heavy, my short, stubby legs already burning.
I like to help her out. It feels good.
Like it makes you feel better about yourself? Like, what Canadian madness has taken hold of you? Is it the maple syrup? Did the maple syrup do this to you, TJ?
It makes me feel better about a lot of things.
There's a sudden shift in his tone that cuts me off from saying anything else. It's a tone I'm not used to hearing from him, and I wonder if I went too far with the whole being assertive thing. I feel like there's a whole lot more going on under the surface, but now doesn't feel like the time to delve into it. I tried to think of something else to talk about to change the subject.
Anyway, maybe apologizing thing is just part of your heritage. Canadians, I don't think they're famous for apologizing. That's a you thing, DJ.
DJ laughs, dispelling the tension easily.
No way, eh?
Maybe
Maybe, eh?
I'm not your friend, buddy.
Not your buddy, pal.
I'm not your
I'm
pal,
not your
bub.
buddy friend. Well, if you'd go back at least, you'd fit in with all the nice people and their free health care and them now being the 51st state, apparently.
It's just a stereotype. And not all that true. There are a lot of assholes in Wasatchua. There were mean people in Wasatchua.
Which I assume is the new Finland of this version of Canada. If I could say, Canada, right? It's such a difficult name to pronounce. That weird country to the north.
Yeah, especially when you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah, I know. How are all the audio levels for you, Serena? Also, they are very joking about Canada being the 51st state. Don't worry about it.
Well, no, I was more referring to Trump and his madness of like 40 cycles ago. Because there's just a new one like literally every day of his presidency.
Of Trump being an idiot,
tried to declare Canada, as the 51st state. It's just like, that wouldn't even work anyway, because like Canada's like a good, 10 provinces? So it would be like, 51 through 60? Or whatever.
That'd be one hell of a big state. It's almost as big as the entire country.
Be the 51st state.
It sucks here in Canada. We need you. We need the help. I hope you're kidding.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I think what it would be is America would become the 11th province, since it's Canada's the one that came and burned our capital down and was it 1914 or something like that? No, that
1912.
1812. 1812. That's right. And the White House burned.
DJ nods.
It's not like here, though.
Yeah, not like here.
We're quiet for a few minutes. Carl's house promisingly close now. Alright, let's see. Not kidding, too much taxes, lack of homes, everything is expensive as heck.
I was going to say, in Canada, their meth heads don't even try to unlock the supernatural. Unlike, here in Echo. I mean, they barely even kidnap South American, naturalized citizens. They barely even do that. I mean, they're just all weird up there. They hardly murder anybody.
I'm distracted, looking up at what's. I'm distracted, looking up at it when suddenly TJ shoulder checks me, right off the road, tipping me over my own feet into the sagebrush.
To be fair, that is a hockey move, so he would know that.
You see? Okay,
He
it's just like,
shoulder checked him. I mean, that's a hockey move.
yeah, if you go to Texas, everybody knows how to use a lasso and ride a horse. If you go to Canada, everybody knows how to like shoot a puck and shoulder check people. It's just in their blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, once you cross
Also,
the 49th parallel, I mean, you just instantly gain that knowledge.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah,
go out to
also
California,
those,
everyone knows how to use that LA accent. It doesn't matter where they're
yeah,
from.
you know, and it's like
Well,
you go to
no, we all
Canada.
know how to put avocado on our toast. Come on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
Californians. We know the truth.
You have Canadian Jack the Ripper. He just after every stab, sorry, 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 sorry.
You're just a sex worker, eh?
All right, Chase, go for it.
Oh, what the hell?
I shout as I lay in the dirt, the dust cloud clearing to reveal a mortified TJ still standing on the side of the road.
Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to knock you over, you pussy. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, you
Being
bitch.
walked over by a twink, the most humiliating of things.
Behold my Canadian power.
He catches
The
himself.
maple syrup gives me super strength.
He catches himself, though the horrified look is still on his face. I stare up at him for a while, then burst out laughing. I see his tail and ears relax, his floofed out fur laying back down. He smiles, seemingly relieved.
You're learning. I mean, clearly physically tackling somebody, that's just being assertive. That's not being aggressive. I'm Chase Hunter, assertive teacher.
Mm-hmm. He rubs his shoulders sheepishly.
I guess so.
We stand a good couple of minutes on Carl's doorstep, ringing the doorbell over and over. I can hear the heavy beat of some hip-hop song through the door and ground. I swear the windows look like they're already about to burst out with how much they're shaking. Finally, I send him a text, and that's when the music finally stops and the door swings open. As it does, TJ and I are blasted with a wave of pot, with just a touch of booze lingering underneath. Carl grins at us, his eyes bloodshot and fur messed up.
Okay, but what was Carl listening to? I'm guessing like old school 80s rap of like the Sugar Hill Gang.
So like Tupac kind of stuff? Or is that 90s? I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
No, Tupac was mid-90s.
Okay. So the good stuff back then, right?
No, I'm saying he was going even more old school, like okay. Never mind. What the fuck?
You
You
totally
guys
max
like
out, man.
Yeah.
Like, I got the Snoop Dogg, and I've got, like, the gin and juice going. Like, did you guys not hear my awesome music?
TJ frowns, rubbing his nose inconspicuously. I don't think I've ever seen Carl. I don't think I've ever seen Carl this far gone. I stare at him as he stares back at us, his grin never wavering. I finally break the silence.
Are you okay? Are you trying to chase ghosts away with the power of pot? Because, I mean, Murdoch proved that that's a way to do it, but come on, Carl. I mean, clearly we could just have sex. Come on, Carl. Come on.
Carl suddenly gets a very serious look on his face. Gravely, he reaches out to put both his paws on my shoulders.
Which is weird because he has hooves. Strange.
Well, they literally say he has paws in every route, so you can't really.
He smirks, then sets his face sternly again.
Never felt better. Like, oh my god,
He brings
Chase.
me into a hug and whispers fiercely into my ear.
I'm so glad you're here. Like, oh
He
my god,
suddenly
Chase.
shoves me back and whirls on TJ, who cringes. Carl goes after him, sweeping him off his feet like the lynx is his brand new bride.
Carl!
Inside before you have heat stroke. Left cheeks. You're my bride now. I'm totally going to bring you to my marital bed.
I stand there on the doorstep as Carl takes the cat inside, throwing TJ. TJ throwing TJ just grabs him by his ankles and like chucks him across the
Yeah,
room.
Flynn be damned. TJ, you're now my bride. Bah.
TJ throws me a wide-eyed look over the ram's broad shoulder. I stare back, wondering if this was such a good idea before stepping in. Pot smell aside, the coolness of the mansion is a welcome relief to the quickly rising heat behind me. I'm just in time to see Carl toss TJ onto a two-cushioned couch before flopping into a bigger one across from it. He smiles at me and pats the cushion next to him. I sit down on the last cushion, leaving a space between the two of us. I'm just a little worried about how handsy he's being right now. Carl shrugs and kicks up his feet on the cushion between us, tapping me with his hooves. I sit there for an agonizingly awkward 10 seconds before TJ clears his throat.
So, Carl, how have you been? I'm like totally expecting Flynn to just pop out and be like, got more drinks.
Yeah, he just comes up from his sex dungeon downstairs. He's like, hey, got some drinks.
Like, I caught
Carl?
more fish. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I found him in the mine. Carl rolls his head onto his shoulders to snap his gaze in the direction of TJ, who gulps.
I've been just beachy. You get me? Because, like, going missing, that was nothing. I do that all the time. It's part of my hide and seek game that Flynn and I play.
TJ's ears twitch.
Yes?
Super. Soup-ear. I'm sober. I don't know what you guys are
Carl
looking at.
giggles quietly to himself. He stares at the ceiling for a while, continuing to tap me with his hooves. I look down and see that they're leaving hoof-shaped prints on a white dust on my pants.
Man, I'm glad you guys are here. You know, the ghosts were getting me and they were trying to like make me search for a secret entrance to the mine in my house, but like I thought I was gonna go crazy.
I thought I was gonna go crazy.
How come?
Carl interlocks his fingers behind his head.
This house, man, you go crazy when there's no one around. I mean, between the ghosts and like the town memories and all the other shit. Also, my parents' expectation constantly weighing me down. Like, oh my god, Flynn spends the night here. Don't worry about that. But he had to go to work.
Ah.
TJ seems to have run out of things to say, leaning back on the couch as his tail twitches around nervously. Carl doesn't seem to mind, though, staring peacefully at the ceiling.
It's as high
I
out of his
exchange
mind.
glances with TJ, who shrugs worriedly at me. I look at the massive flat screen.
Do you want to watch something? Something that get us off this topic, Carl? Please, like,
Carl
get us off this topic.
Carl flicks his eyes to the TV.
Uh, have you seen the new Lucha Lobe movie? I mean, it's not as good as Ram Hogan versus Ultimate Otter.
I have
That
to
great
think about
match that
that.
Cindy and I love, but I mean, there's more wrestling stuff. I totally love wrestling.
I have to think about that.
Not since last summer, I think. Carl, that's an old movie. I mean, Marvel has got like 4 new movies out by now.
I haven't seen it.
It's the fucking shit, dude. Like, totally.
Carl sticks his legs out in the sticks his eggs in the air, swiveling his butt before he launches himself off the couch to land on his hooves awkwardly. He stumbles, falling into TJ's couch. Lynx tries to steady him, but the ram is off before he can, grabbing the remote. Suddenly, he spins around and tosses his phone at me. I have to lunge to catch it.
Please, order us a goddamn pizza. Because pizza's my favorite thing in the world, even though I'm an herbivore and cheese is like not something I can eat, but I'm starving. What?
I stare at his phone. He sighs loudly at me. The Guianos app. Duh.
Sorry, my computer was loading. I'm on a potato, remember? Sometimes it takes a second.
It takes me a second to find it in a sea of random game apps.
Oh, so what do you guys want? I love combo with jalapeno. What do you guys want?
I'll shove
I'll shove
anything.
anything into in my fat face. Especially the meat, because as a ram, I eat meat all the time.
I stare at him. Then I order a medium with pineapple and pepperoni, also known as banana peppers. No. Yes. Yeah. Yes. We order
Okay, if I could go on a
a
small
medium
aside,
with white sauce with pineapple and pepperoni on it. It's delicious. A friend of mine called it sweet and sour pizza.
Sounds Chinese.
Okay,
well,
well,
if I could go
what
on
is
a
this
small
new
aside,
aside
as a
that you want to go on?
Californian,
You've been going on them constantly, so why not?
well, I was just gonna say, like, as a Californian, growing up in, here, like Hawaiian pizza was just perfectly normal. So then, like, as an adult, seeing the weird memes about pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, I'm like, wait, what? I've had pineapple on pizza my entire life. It's a
Yeah.
flavor. I mean, it's just a thing. Wait, why do people suddenly hate this? Wait,
Now we need to
what
do
kind of weird
pineapple
bubble
and
am I in? What
avocado.
kind of weird California bubble am I in? What's next? They're gonna say avocado doesn't belong on pizza? Blah,
Avocado
blah.
But
pizza.
Or avocado doesn't belong on toast? Blah.
you see, we'll do white sauce and avocado and pineapple and anchovies. That'll make it even just absolutely disgusting.
I think Michelangelo eats that on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Maybe.
That
Which
that
one?
sounds like something he would order.
What, avocado
So
on pizza?
He's a New Yorker, huh? So he wouldn't do that. That's the only part he wouldn't do.
all right, Carl,
But
go
you do
for
the
it.
rest of it. All right. So order anything. Okay.
I end up letting TJ pick the toppings since he's got that special dietary.
Thing.
What the? That's not how you write. Okay, whatever. I end up letting TJ pick the toppings since he's got that special dietary where he can't eat gluten. You mean that special diet?
I mean, to be fair, that is a real thing. My cousin
I know
has
it's a
that,
real thing.
and it's ruining her life. Yeah.
They just worded it really weirdly.
Maybe they meant to include dietary allergy
Yeah, it's probably a typo or
omission.
yeah, by accident. Once I ordered the extra large, Carl's already started the movie. Or Carl's already started the movie app. Started up the movie.
I didn't know anyone delivered out here because, we're 45 minutes away from the nearest city.
Carl sits down with a beer in his hand, and I wonder if I should tell him not to drink anymore. Honestly, I Don't know if the way he's acting is more due to the pot or the drink or a ghost. He
Well, it's 5
grins.
o'clock somewhere.
Hmm.
He grins. That's what's so great about Geno's. They'll deliver anywhere if you pay. Cause like I'm rich. Look at this giant house. I'm a Hendrix. I own a gold mine, even though it's defunct.
He takes a swig and belches.
Price of delivery is the same as a fucking pizza though, which no sane person would pay, but apparently I do, because look at these horns.
He's
TJ, look at my horns.
They're so small. He stares at me before pointing at his beer.
You want one? TJ, I'm tempting you. Look at this forbidden fruit, TJ. I have fruity beer.
I glance at
Just what you want.
TJ, who's staring hard at the screen.
Maybe I'll have one with the pizza, but like me and TJ have some yard work to do for Janice. Yeah, that's an excuse not to drink at
For who?
10 a.m.
Carl
Yep, that holds perfectly good logic.
Carl wrinkles his nose.
Lame.
Do you want to go with us, Carl? You could use some exercise, and it seems like you need to get out of this house.
Yeah. Carl thinks, then gives a massive shrug.
I can tag along. Might not be able to do any real work though, because I mean, I'm a rich boy, and look at these artist hands. I have to draw Wolverine's tits.
Wolverine's tits. He pats his stomach.
That's their alt version, gender reversed Wolverine.
Hmm.
That's yeah, in universe.
Go
Swear to
for it.
God, I'll hurl, which I've thrown up in every other route. So like, I need to get my quota in for this route.
Yeah, that's fine.
TJ smiles, but Carl seems to be watching the movie now, which is already a few minutes into the intro. The pizza doesn't arrive for another hour, and when it finally does, the slices are almost room temperature.
Oh, jeez.
Still, with the pizza, beer, and a movie, I start to kind of enjoy myself. By the end of it, Carl seems to have sobered up a little bit. Not a whole bunch, but to the point where he's at least coherent. He turns off the TV and sighs, flat on his back on the couch at this point, his fetlocks across my lap.
I'm fucking stuffed.
I agree, and now I'm feeling even less inclined to go to Jaundic's place. TJ's pulled out his phone and is already and is now and now he's staring at it with his eyes lowered. I'm about to ask him what's wrong, but that's when Carl nudges me with his leg.
Hey, you guys want to play a game? You know, I'll tie you guys up and in a mysterious place, and like there's gonna be like a key hidden under your skin, and like I'll watch you on a screen.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's funny
Dun, dun,
that
dun, dun,
you and
dun.
I both had like the same thought when he said you guys want to play a game. Hey, I got something coming up.
He's just like,
I gotta go for a little bit. Like something's happening all of a sudden.
like right now, actually?
Yeah, like right now. Actually, I need to go do something real quick.
Okay.
We want to
Okay.
pause, or you
Well,
guys
I
want to
guess we
continue
will
with
take
it?
a
Carry
quick
on,
break.
or we want to pause, or
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
We will take a break. We will be right back, everyone.
After these extenuating
Gotcha.
circumstances,
save right
I'm
here.
at. I look at him
And
cautiously.
Yeah, me too. And we're back. So after something exploded, we are now back where we were. I look at him cautiously. Whoops. What happened? No. Okay, Chase, go for it.
What kind of game? Huh? Have you guys played Spin the Bottle?
Carl looks around, then finds the row of 3 bottles on the ground next to the couch. One of them empty, one half empty.
Have I ever?
TJ gives a nervous laugh.
But Carl, I don't drink.
Give it a try, TJ. We'll just call this like Jesus blood, and you'll totally love it.
Jesus blood.
I frown, giving Carl a look.
That's actually a Michael Jackson reference. That's what he would call it when he tried to slip wine to his underage cohorts, let's say. Uh, anyway, so you could just do 10 fingers. You don't have to drink for that one.
Carl pouts.
Wow, you're boring as hell today. I, the drunk guy, clearly have the line on what's boring. Chase, all right, we'll do both. You guys do 10 fingers bullshit. I will drink heavily.
He struggles to sit up, burping again while he does. He leans over with a groan and picks up his beer.
Okay, I'll go first.
I hold up 10 fingers and TJ does the same, somewhat reluctantly.
Never have I ever.
Carl seems to think hard, then grins.
Cat sucks. Woo!
TJ's ears flatten and I glare at Carl.
Really, we're going there already because you guys know Leo just like had all of me all of the time through all of high school. You guys know this. I told
Carl
you all the
shrugs.
graphic details. What? That's the first question everybody asks. Tell us more details, Chase.
I lower a finger, still glaring.
Isn't this game about getting to know things that you don't already know about? Because, everyone knows me and Leo. I got all that.
I look over at TJ, not surprised to see all of his fingers still up, though he's still blushing.
I'm surprised you haven't, though. You had girlfriends, because you like women, right, Carl?
Carl smears at me.
Turns out having to lift my own gut so they could suck me off turns them off. Unlike Flynn, he enjoys that. Never got past that.
I mean, maybe go exercise?
Well, again, he's rocking a secret strength build under that. He's kind of like the kingpin, where there's like all that muscle under there. He just looks fat. So they sucked you off. So they still sucked you off, huh? 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 Blowjobs don't count. I'm going on President Clinton rules. We're not doing like regular people rules. What's the definition of is?
Yeah, they do. It's called
Yeah, they
oral
do. It's called oral
sex.
sex.
Oh,
No,
man.
man.
They was going to take over Chase and Carl.
I
Be like,
suddenly
no,
become a
Kaiser's computer's loading too slow. No, take it over.
I suddenly become very aware of a beet red link sitting across us.
It's just glowing
I
red.
cough loudly and sit up straight, trying to think of something that's interesting, but still G-rated for TJ.
Never have I ever been in a fight. A physical fight, I mean. I've only gotten my ass beaten Route 65. That's not a fight.
Carl takes a drink. TJ's fingers stay up.
Who did you fight? I mean, other than a drunk ass coyote that beat the shit out of me. The fuck have you been? Remember Clint? You know, the meth guy from the other routes? Oh yeah, he does like meth in the other routes,
Yeah, the
right?
guy who's just standing outside the window. I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick your ass next time.
You know, there's a lot of other people in this diner.
TJ starts to lower his finger too, then stops.
Well, he mostly attacked us. We didn't really fight back, so it's not really a fight.
Just a slaughter.
Ooh, a choice. What do we want to say? Should we save so we can see the other options?
Sure, let's save.
That's just out of nowhere, like the violence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, save.
Which is how good violence should be, just out of nowhere. I mean, I assume that's what it's going to be like in the new Daredevil show.
So,
You know, he'll just be like walking into court, you know, he'll have his legal briefs, and then just, you know, Wilson Fisk just runs up and just punches him
Let's
right in his
throw him.
blind face.
Let's throw him to the ground.
now who are we throwing to the ground, Carl?
I have no idea.
I
It's
assume
very
it's
unclear.
ambiguous.
I'm assuming it's Carl because
Throw him to the ground.
Or I'm assuming Clint. Yeah. Because weren't we talking about Clint in a fight?
Carl
Were.
shrugs.
Me and Flynn have gotten into it before. You know, a lover spat. It's very hot. Well, you already took a drink, so, like, take another drink, Carl? Come on.
I look over at TJ.
Your turn.
TJ looks off to the side, seeming to think hard.
never have I ever failed a test.
Geez, all of Carl's fingers are gonna go down from that one. TJ grins.
Although he's drinking, so, like, none of his beer is going to survive this at all.
Yeah, he just chugs the entire bottle and just gets another one and chugs that. I lower a finger, smirking, but Carl lets out a snort.
Cute.
The amount of disdain in his voice has me looking over at him, but he's already chugging down his beer. His burp seems to shake the couch.
All right. Never have I kissed a dude. Flynn and I only do oral. I'm still bi, so I don't kiss because that's gay. Carl. What? I've never actually seen you kiss Leo. I mean, I want to watch from like the bushes. Come on, Chase. So, wait. Maybe have I met?
He shrugs again. I lower a finger, rolling my eyes. TJ, of course, doesn't. As if I'm trying to think of my own question, I suddenly feel something warm pass against the side of my face. I blanch away out of instinct and turn to find Carl with his eyes closed and lips puckered.
Carl!
TJ sits on the couch, his face a portrait of comically cartoonish shock.
All right, now I have. I got Chase Smoochies.
Carl takes a big gulp of beer. I'm not sure how to react, but TJ's reaction is enough to make the whole thing seem funny, instead of like sexual harassment. Oh yes, that's what everyone says at HR. And then they get fired.
Mm,
I mean, you can't do it after the question's asked, right? Cheater, 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 pumpkin eater, Rammy boy.
Carl puts his chin on a fist, fluttering his eyes in a way that he probably thinks is seductive.
You can look it up if you want on, you know, truthdare.com. Let's go look, Chase.
I shake my head, wiping the side of my face as I try to think.
Never have I ever flown in an airplane. I'm an otter. We only take boats. across the seas.
Carl and TJ both lower a finger.
Really? That's crazy.
I shrug.
Hardly ever been out of the state in my life, even though my college is in the next state over, according to the email address of another route. That's tragic. It kind of is.
And so it goes. The game continues for another 20 minutes. Most of the questions innocent enough. Still, I notice that every time TJ takes his turn, Carl gets more and more agitated. Never have I ever done drugs. Never have I ever been late to class. Never have I ever gotten less than an A minus in a class. Still, I can tell that TJ is directing it mostly at me. Partly because he's being mischievous, and partly because I think he's genuinely trying to figure me out. Carl's mood continues to sour, though, and it all seems to build until the sixth round.
Never have I ever been in a car accident.
I lower a finger.
You've crashed before?
I mock glare at him.
No, this is kind of a dick move because this is one of Carl's like deepest hot button issues that they literally wrote a short story about. So like this is totally a dick move by TJ.
Now, did TJ know
I
about
mean,
this, or is
yeah,
he?
that's the question.
Or is
I
he
mean,
going?
he should.
He should. Doesn't mean he does. Then that short
Sure.
story does it actually have him in it, where he's just like, "Holy crap, are you okay?"
You know, good question. Because yeah, it's actually presented as new information as right. Anyway, sorry. Why do you automatically assume it was my fault?
Oh, so I mean, because smaller feet.
Dad was driving, you know, because he's the worst, and we got rear-ended, which normally I'm like thumbed up with when at least when it's with Leo, but like in this case, no.
Oh, so your dad can't drive. Did your dad
That's what
teach
I
Carl how to
noticed.
drive?
That's when I noticed that Carl hasn't spoken at all since the question was asked. I look over at him and see he's got the bottle resting on his knee as he watches TJ. I lean over to poke at him.
You okay?
He glances at me before turning back to TJ.
You knew I was in an accident? Like I was totally high and thinking of Chase and totally crashed my car, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to drive? Like, ah, you lynx!
TJ looks at Carl, confused.
I did.
Yeah, I told you at the motel room when you first got here. I mean, it's the intro. How did you forget the intro? Other than, you know, we haven't played it in months.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. I mean, no one ever does the intro. They just save at where Flynn's acting like an asshole.
Yeah.
So I was right. He did know and totally brought up like his worst memory.
Yeah, most
To be
embarrassing
fair,
thing.
Carl has been a complete dick
Pretty much this whole
throughout
time.
the
So
entire game. So, and like,
yeah, so far he's been nothing but
he's
an
been
asshole.
acting like a piece of shit. So, yeah.
You kind of
So
deserve
he's
it.
our lovable stoner. I mean, look at him. He's got the belly.
He's
Wait
being
till you see
very
a
disrespectful.
CG where you totally see his belly.
TJ
And he's got like belly.
TJ continues to look confused. Carl stares at his lap for a while, and I start to wonder if the game is over. Then he looks up and stares at TJ, rubbing his chin.
How can I stump this lynx? How can I destroy him?
He seems to be thinking hard.
Never have I ever.
We wait. Carl smiles.
Been to Canada. Well, gotcha, TJ. Never have I ever killed someone. Which that also is not a super hot button issue that we should explore.
What follows is dead silence.
But bumps.
Carl stares straight ahead at TJ, still with a smile on his face. TJ still looks confused.
That's a weird thing to say.
Is it?
Okay, sorry, you cut out there. I didn't hear you.
Oh,
Is it? Like, is it?
TJ freezes up as if ice cold water had been dumped over his head. I look at Carl slowly, but he's not looking at me at all. TJ's clenched paws rest in his lap, his face expressionless, almost as if we both realize what Carl's getting at. We sit in that silence for what feels like almost a minute. Carl finally breaks the frozen portrait that we're all in, leaning back into the back of the couch.
My life's been going downhill since that happened. All the murders I committed, like, because this is linear thought. So why would I jump back to the previous question when I asked this one and we're all thinking about this one?
TJ and I don't say anything, both of us watching Carl.
Oh, grades, drugs, whatever, I don't know. It seems like it all started after whatever it was that happened, Chase murdering that guy.
Carl looks pointedly at TJ again.
Carl! That kills people, Carl!
Carl! My voice comes out shocked and bewildered. That seemed to get through to him a little bit, his long ears flickering down briefly. TJ continues to stare back at him, and I'm reminded of how he looked when Flynn was having a go at him. Carl finally looks down, away from TJ.
So, like, I was in the crawl space the other day, as you do, we all have crawl spaces that we hide in when we're feeling socially anxiety, right? Or possessed by ghosts. Anyway, I found this old letter from Sydney. Totally organic. This is totally where he would hit it, or would have hit it.
I don't say anything. Neither does TJ. Carl waits a while, then goes on.
Like, I totally haven't opened it. It says it was like a treasure hunt on the front. So let's go find the One Piece, you guys. Come on, let's sing along.
A treasure hunt. Sydney absolutely loved treasure hunts. He was always making them in his spare time. They were usually pretty bad, and the prizes at the end were always pretty awful. It always takes some convincing on his part to get us to go on one.
I don't know why I have it, but it made me like also want to, eat the gum gum fruit and get like really stretchy.
Carl stops talking and closes his eyes, pressing himself deeper into the soft cushions of the couch.
And then like Flynn could like use three sword style, and then like maybe if we knew what happened, we could fix some of our problems.
DJ finally stands up and Carl's eyes snap open when he does. I watch him, too, having no idea what he's about to do. Because of the look on his face, I wonder if he's about to actually do something violent, attack Carl or something. His expression is dark. Not like I've ever seen him, even when Flynn was yelling at him. Instead, though, he just stands there for a few moments, staring at Carl. Carl looks away again, his ears lowered.
Self self improvement starts with realizing what the actual problem is, Carl.
That didn't sound like TJ at all. Not even the voice. Carl seemed shocked as well. As well. Carl seems shocked as well as he finally looks up at the links.
Stop blaming others and start blaming yourself.
His voice is calm and smooth, but ice cold. TJ turns on his heel and stalks towards the door, his fur fluffed out. I finally snap out of it too. I finally snap out of it and stand up as TJ opens the door. I take one last look at Carl as he's slumped on the couch, his head down.
I'll call you later, Carl.
Carl doesn't say anything. So with that, I hurry out the door that TJ left open. I catch up to the Lynx about 100 yards down the road, trying to match his brisk pace. It's late afternoon at this point, and the heat hits me like a ton of iron bricks. Sweet sweat already threatens to drip off my chin as I approach TJ. He slows down when he hears me panting, letting me catch up. We walk in silence for a good 15 minutes, and I almost jump when TJ finally speaks up.
Can you believe he did that?
I take a few deep breaths, gathering the time I need to form a response.
Yeah, because look at TJ. He's clearly a murderer. You can just tell by those tufts that he's got, hidden teardrops going down, hidden teardrop tattoos going down his eyes. He's killed some people in prison.
He's TJ the Ripper.
Yep. I think he was just really high and drunk.
TJ shakes his head.
He knew what he was saying.
I mean, sure, but his inhibitions were down. So that makes people accuse the cute, innocent Christian boy who's never done anything wrong in his life, even in eating a carb, of murder. That's a perfect A to B.
TJ isn't as upset as I thought he would be. At least not in the way I thought he would be. Hello, fellow writers.
See, it's not just me, you guys.
You got an
You
interesting
want to
line
take
there.
shots at me, but this is a professionally put out game. All right, it's not just me.
That reminds me of this one scene. Okay, it was a news reporter, right? And she was reading a line, and it was just like, "Now in Boston, there's going to be snow. It's going to be cold and snowy in Boston." And she just like glares at the teleprompter.
It sounds like Plan 9 from outer space. Future events such as these will happen in the future.
Yeah, pretty much. Instead, he seems more angry than anything. All right, TJ, go for it. I think it's because.
Did we lose Taz?
I think so. I think it's because he's been talking to Flynn, who knows what he's been saying to him. No, I got it.
Yeah, sorry.
That could definitely be the case. TJ finally sighs and stares at the ground, his ears falling. I can tell he's about to finally start crying, so I quickly put my arm around his shoulders.
Hey, it's okay. He was seriously drunker than I've ever seen him, which is why he accuses random people of murder. He's not gonna remember any of this. Because again, our friend who gets blackout drunk or high and wakes up random places, this is just like a good sign. We don't need to, worry anything about him.
Nope. Can you get blackout high on marijuana?
I haven't, but that just sounds like a challenge.
I mean, I know people can hallucinate if they have too much.
The SpaceX challenge. Get as high as
But
space.
But I've never heard of somebody passing out from it. There's a guy I knew in college. He would go and get this weed ice cream, and
Ooh, now you're making me hungry.
and it was so heavily concentrated that when he would eat the entire thing, he would start hallucinating. Like he'd start seeing like orbs of light in the restroom and stuff like that. It was weird. Anyway, I think that guy's like a sergeant or something, or a lieutenant in the military now.
See,
Go figure.
Edibles, and that hasn't happened. So apparently, I just need to keep working on it. I need to just keep on trucking.
So you'll have a normal edible, and then you'll have an ice cream, which has like 5 or 6 times as much, maybe 10 times. Okay.
Well, like I say, I've taken multiple, and it hasn't happened. So apparently, I just need to keep trying.
Oh yeah. You need to reach the high score.
This is just like a part. I just need to put this on my vision board.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
That
Vision
much
board
420.
He doesn't look up.
TJ, you are a huge reason why we've all stuck together at this point.
TJ doesn't
Your
say
lacy
anything.
fur is like glue.
TJ doesn't say anything, and I see his eyes watering up. I could be making it worse, but I give his shoulder another squeeze.
And then he literally says the glue after I say that. You're the glue, and like you said, Carl's blaming his own problems on everyone else. This has nothing to do with you, and certainly no Gila telling him pillow talk at night, giving him crazy ideas.
I am the coffee. I am the creamer.
I am the butter of your
second.
evil toast.
Of your evil burnt toast. I am the creamer. the brunt. Your bitter evil taste.
I think we need to watch that with Kaiser at some point.
I tried watching it and Ace fell asleep during it.
I get so blackout high,
If you've gotten to this point in the video and you know what we're talking about, please post in the comments below.
TJ sighs, leaning against me a little. I take this as a good sign and nudge him.
Listen, we're going to Jonas's place and get those chores out of the way. After we can get some ice cream at Ray's, okay?
Just not that kind of ice cream.
Which is a shame.
All right.
TJ lets out a small laugh, and we continue down the road for another 10 feet like that. Then he suddenly pulls away from me, faces me, and hugs me tight. He buries his face in my chest as I feel his fingers clench into the back of my shirt. He holds me like that for a long time. We get to Jaundic's house a good half hour later. Me covered in sweat and TJ airing out his shirt. It's 5 at this point, but the sun is still pounding down on the back of my head like a lead weight. Jaundice opens the door almost the second we knock, and I can tell immediately that something's off. First of all, she's got no pants on. I catch a glimpse of her large white panties before I snap my eyes back up. Well, at least you only saw the large white panties. Staring hard at the coyote's face. I'm glad I didn't go to Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. I can see TJ, but by the funny way he's breathing, I'm pretty sure he's noticed as well. Jaundice spreads out her hands, grinning.
Well, I'll be. You made it.
We gonk at her for another few seconds before TJ finally squeaks out.
Yeah, of course.
Jaundice suddenly steps forward towards the lynx and cups his face in her hands. I keep my eyes up, trying to focus on her face. She squishes TJ's face to the point where his lips purse out a little bit.
Oh, you, TJ, are a lifesaver. You know that?
She says it's sincerely, and I can see TJ trying to pull back. Unfortunately, it also looks like the coyote has a good grip on his face because everything but his head moves back.
That's funny.
Now, now that I'm thinking back to the
you.
Leo route.
Jaundice.
No, sorry.
TJ tries to speak from his squashed face.
I was just gonna say, like, thinking back to the Leo route. What if John is what he's running from in that route, where he's like hallucinating and just randomly running, through the streets of Echo. Like, what if it's just like, oh no, naked Jaundice, no.
Yeah, he's just being pursued by a naked Jaundice. And her friend naked gonorrhea.
I'm a cat too. I'm a cougar.
Janice, what did you want us to do today? Other than the obvious thing of you wearing no pants.
I break in, hoping to move her attention away from ripping TJ's cheeks off. She seems to really be enjoying the tufts of fur there.
Oh, Chase, you're here too?
Yeah, I have to be his minder when I'm around you, according to the court order that thankfully we looked up. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna work on it together so that
Well,
TJ's not
all
alone
right.
around you.
How about I head out there and show you too all the things that you want to see?
My eyes flick down to her bottom half for just a second, and I immediately regret it.
That's what I'm talking about. That down there. You know it, Chasey. Hey.
It looks like she's so stretched out, I can't tell if it's pastrami or...
That's just gross.
Yeah, that's super gross.
I think the term is roast beef, but, I think that
tell
was
what
the
I'm supposed to be.
mid-2000s. I don't know.
I can't tell what I'm supposed to be looking at.
That meat's gone
There's
bad.
no way around it.
You want to get dressed first? Please put on pants. For the love of God, woman, put on pants.
Jaundice looks down.
Oh, that? Oh, well, I just got to apologize now. I was in the middle of getting ready for work. I just forgot what I was doing. Every now and then I take off that big old smock and jump into the shower and decide not to wash it. But, hey.
I'm glad that there isn't a graphic for this.
A what?
I'm glad that there isn't a graphic for this.
Oh, you totally want to see a sprite of Jaundice without anything on? You do.
To be fair, how she's drawn is a lot better than how she's described.
This is true. Like, how she's described as she's, like, morbidly obese. And not like, people that we just consider...
She is William's descendant, so she's got big stock in her background.
Yeah. And, like, we're not talking fat like Americans see fat. Like, I'm fat by what Americans consider fat. And I'm considered morbidly obese. Most of it's muscle. But, like, I think Jaundice is supposed to be, like, beyond that. With, like, most
who's
of it
eating
fat.
Gilbert Grape?
Yeah, like two fat leggies on Food Network 20 years ago or something. Where they were just like, eat lard. Yeah. Just thinking back to that memory of seeing this lady like, oh, this is so good, and like scoops a spoon into a literal tub of lard and just, like eats it raw. I glance at TJ, then quickly back to the coyote.
Oh, well, we can wait. Please put on pants, Jaundice.
Nonsense. It only takes a second.
I'm left open mouthed, but the coyote automatically, as TJ follows closely. Wait, what? I'm left open mouthed. Following the coyote automatically as TJ follows closely behind me. I think the mental image of something is making me gag. A quick glance around reassures me that there isn't anyone around at the moment. But if someone does come around, Jaundice marches us out to the back, to the few wooden remnants of the shed we'd moved earlier. She points at the ground.
Walking up.
I want you two to dig a hole right here.
TJ stays just slightly behind me, as if using me as a shield to Jaundice's shameless immodesty. She wants us to dig 2 holes that are roughly 3 feet wide and 6 feet long.
Well, no, I was gonna say, dude comes walking up the road. He's like, "What y'all doing with my woman?" And then just like cocks his shotgun and like points it at him. He's like, "What y'all doing?"
You can have her. A hole?
Hey, hole.
Yep.
Or,
In a rectangle from here to here.
Jaundice marks a line in the dirt with her foot before walking about 5 feet in the other direction and marking another line.
And 3 feet wide, at least 3 feet deep, if not more.
Oh yeah, she's gonna kill people.
You know.
I nod through her instructions, just trying to get through this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we're not going to question the grave we're clearly digging out of what was left of the shed. Like, yeah, no, we need no questions. No, we'll just start digging. Okay, what are we doing this for? Again, digging a grave should have more questions.
Jaundice stops, scratching the back of her head.
A pole. Gonna have a pole back here. Let me just go back, see how deep it's supposed to be. Go on, let's see.
Yes,
3
it's
feet
a
wide.
one-person pool.
3 feet deep. Oh, 3 feet deep. Okay, that's a pretty shallow pool. I think I'll fall into it and plug it up. Splash all the water out. My foot.
Yeah, you know, whoever this is, they don't need like a full grave. I mean, just half-ass it, you know.
Yeah,
6
you
feet,
can just
3 feet, good.
you can just use a shovel and take off their legs at like the thigh or something and fold them over. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't need a shovel. You can just use like a backhoe. You know, you can just use a hoe,
A big
like
rock.
it's Minecraft.
No, what you could do is just do the whole Walter White method and just kind of dissolve someone in something and then just bury that.
Oh, that's what the pool's going to be filled up. Hydrofluoric acid.
Yeah, but then, you know, Jesse gets the wrong kind of container or acid, and then it eats through the, whole house.
Yeah, entire
and it's
house.
A whole mess.
Yeah. Have that one. Never mind. TJ, go for it.
A pool? Yeah, a nice little pool.
She grins at us, and I quickly nod at her.
Okay, we'll get right to work. Because of this pool we're digging. Definitely only a pool. Shovels are in the garage, right? So we can not be an accomplice to the actual murder?
I'm doing everything I can to get her back inside.
Yep. Need anything else? A show, maybe? I can make you lemonade before I leave. Got some ready to come out the spigot right now.
Kids innocence.
Well, as we have established, that is black water coming out of the hose. So, like, Chase's next line is really regretful. Like, apparently he did not learn his lesson from his acute food poisoning yesterday. So, nah, we'll get water if we need to, right from this hose. Glug glug glug. Mmm, yummy.
Is the hose coming out of jaundice?
Ugh.
Well, a tank of hers. I don't know what kind though.
The tank is her.
The tank goes, like the hose goes straight to the septic tank. Ugh.
All right. Well, all right. No need to finish it today if you can't. I know how hard it is.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be fully deep. Don't worry about it. Jonas turns to leave, but not before reaching out and pinching TJ's cheeks almost viciously. He squints his eyes, ears flattening as he just stands there and takes it. And with that, she hums her way back to the house. I wait until I hear the door close.
Oh my God. She's gone insane. I mean, we're digging a grave for her, TJ. We need to run and probably tell the police, but I don't know what we tell them yet.
TJ stays quiet, staring at the spot on the ground that Jaundice marked out.
Seriously, we should go. We should run for the hills. Why are we still here, TJ?
No. She's probably just having another off day or something. Just,
I shake my head.
Yeah, being completely off her rocker high twice in 2 days. That's not worrying behavior. We should just continue to do chores for her. This is definitely not a pool. It's a grave, TJ. Do you not know what graves are?
To be honest, TJ's probably jugged one of those before. TJ kicks at the dirt and I shiver as I see a small spider skitter across the ground.
Either she lost it and we're doing nothing here, or we're digging a grave. See, even Chase, as dumb of an otter and as clueless as he is, even he can pick up on this obvious subtext.
Yeah.
oh, come on, Chase. Not a grave. It's a mass grave.
Yeah, I mean, look how wide it is. It's for both of us.
I mean, come on, Chase. She only said 3 feet. Graves are 6 feet. That's how you know they're graves. So clearly, this is some other rectangular person-size hole that could fit a person in it and be covered up. I mean, come on, Chase. Anyway, this was a bad idea.
I hear the garage door opening and I shut my mouth. A car engine starts up and I see an old, rusty, white sedan pull out of the driveway.
And
Jaundice waves at us and...
Go ahead, sorry.
Jaundice waves at us and blows a kiss, which I'm pretty sure is directed at TJ.
I just want to say, like we've been, like when we were driving around, we've been to like gas stations where we see just like a car and then like this massively obese woman like step into it and it just like almost goes like completely to the ground. I could just imagine that's what it's like. It's just the car basically scraping across the ground, sparks flying everywhere.
Yeah, she's got to pay a lot of money to constantly replace her struts on that car.
Hi guys. So yeah, this is a funny story. We were on a road trip, and we were like, I don't know, 10 at the time.
Something like that.
And yeah, we stopped at a gas station, and we saw this very, very, very large lady. Like, to the point, I want you to just imagine that she has to sort of twist her entire body with each step that she takes. She's so big, like Fat Albert big. And so she gets to her car, and we're all watching her, and it's just like, we're looking at this lady, and we're looking at her car door, and we're just like, is she gonna fit? And then she, sort of squeezes herself into her car. And the moment she sits down, her round tires become ovoid.
They
They
come
go from
ovals.
round to
And the entire crowd just kind of goes whoop.
yeah, like basically the tires just sort of on the bottom, they just sort of squish to where there's like maybe an inch from the rims to the floor, rims to the road, maybe less. And I think everybody in the car just pointed and started laughing. The windows were all closed, the doors were all closed. She was completely not aware. It was dark. So, she didn't know what was going on. But then when, yeah, she started up her car and drove away. But that's what Tats is referencing.
Yeah, what I specifically remember is when she sat down, like the entire car just kind of it dropped probably like 5 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, it dropped pretty far. Then she peels off like she's drag racing to the diner. That's less than a mile away.
That sound. Sorry, did you hear the sound of like
Yeah.
screaming?
Yep. Yeah, I know. They got some good Foley for this game.
Yeah, they do. They got some good
They
stuff.
didn't have the budget for much, but they spent it where they could.
Yeah, good job, guys.
So you think she's on her way to murder? Maybe like some other albino
Stop.
cougar, she hates them.
Just stop.
I look back at TJ.
Do you think she even put her pants on? I mean, to be fair, she owns the diner. Pants optional is, a benefit of being the boss.
TJ shudders.
TJ shudders and looks back at the ground. He's like, oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Let's just get this done. Then I promise I won't do any more chores for her because, oh my gosh, I'm scarred.
I sigh.
All right, just remember whose fault this is if it ends up being our grave or in court for us being an accessory to murder, helping her, with the murder, GJ.
The work is tougher than I thought it would be. We both start at opposite ends of the little trench thing we're making. Jonda said that we should do more than 3 feet if we could, but if this whole thing is bullshit, which I'm sure it is, then I'm not doing any more than the minimum. I'm at least glad to see TJ turning back to his cheerful, bubbly self. We even almost get into a dirt clod war, but that comes to a quick end when I hit TJ in the thigh with a rock-filled one.
Ouch.
About 2 hours later, the sun is comfortably low, and we're a little over halfway done. It's at this point that I get a text message from Carl. I take a quick glance at my phone and see a one-word apology of sorry. I look at it for a while until TJ finally peers up.
Everything okay?
I debate whether or not to tell him, now that he's in such a good mood. It's hard to tell exactly what will make TJ feel better or worse, I've come to realize. Still, I think he can tell who it's probably from already, judging from how slanted back his ears are.
Yeah, TJ, according to this text, it says, take that shirt off. We're working in the hot sun, young man. You need to be cool. So just strip it off. Come on. I mean, Janice's pants optional around here. So, word of the land. Anyway, it's from Carl. He just says, sorry.
Ah.
TJ stops digging, pressing the shovel into the darker, moist earth at the bottom of the trench.
The bottom.
Yeah, bottom is just Bostonian for some reason.
That's it.
I mean, did you want him to say in a text that, sorry, I accused you of murdering Sydney, TJ? Like, because that would be a weird text to get. But, that was it.
Are you
That's
going
it.
to respond?
I don't know. Should I? I mean, he's my best friend. I should just give him the silent treatment forever from this point.
TJ starts digging again.
Yeah.
TJ tilts his head down.
I need to apologize too.
Now, that seems more like TJ. I guess me telling him not to stop apologizing has finally worn off.
Well, what should I say? I mean, other than I'm not a murderer, and then my eyes dart around.
TJ stops digging again and looks up at me.
Um,
I look up at him expectantly.
okay. So I'm trying to be more assertive, like you said.
Oh, so someone listened to me? What? This is a new feeling for me. What? Someone listened to me, the little otter? What?
I didn't expect him to say that.
Is that why? Wait, someone listened to me? Okay, wait, what?
TJ looks down, so I stop myself. It's that. Is that why he acted so strange at Carl's mansion?
Sorry, never mind. What were you gonna say? Speak, DJ, speak.
So I'm just going to say this. I was thinking about the treasure hunt Carl found.
For a moment, I didn't know what he was talking about.
Oh, the thing he found in the super suspicious crawl space that a friend would never have left that letter in? Huh. Yeah, we should check that out.
I was thinking.
TJ leans on the shovel's handle, looking away.
Thinking that we should open it together.
Okay.
Yoki.
I say it slowly, realizing how delicate of a topic this is.
Is there a reason you want to open it, other than all the reasons you clearly have to open it?
TJ sighs deeply, looking up at the deep red and orange sky.
I feel like. I always feel like things happen for a reason. And we were just talking about finding closure yesterday. Maybe we need to open it.
Okay. I'm sure
So,
Sidney left all his treasure in just one piece, so.
so I feel like this might be a way to do it. Maybe? Read what he had to say. Maybe go on one of his last hunts.
TJ swallows hard. I can sort of see where he's coming from. Sidney always wrote stupid riddles and stories with his treasure hunts. So it might mean something to read something he. It might mean something to read something he wrote so long ago.
Okay.
I keep coming up short with what I want to say. Again, I can see why TJ might think this is the answer, but I'm not so sure.
Well, I can ask Carl about it. Do you want everyone there? Or like a big audience of all our trauma? Like we could ask Jaundice to join in.
Maybe we could even get Duke, and he can bring the big bear. And yeah, we can get Brian there too. And Clint. We can get Clint, Jeremy.
And
Get
Yeah, and
everyone.
Micah, you know.
Yeah.
We could get
him and
Micah.
Layla
Yeah, we
together, you
could get
know.
everyone. Yeah, we could get everyone. Just a big trauma display, big trauma
Yeah.
parade. Yeah, that's what it is. A trauma parade. We could even have
Brian,
a
you
choir
can
there from
contact Heather.
church.
Brian can let us all in his van, and he can take us to this cool hole in the mountain that he found.
Yeah, and Brian can be the pastor dunking everyone in water, wash away their innocence. Their sins.
He just needs us all to wear these handcuff things.
Yeah, and then
So
not
he can,
not come up to breathe.
But
So he
they're
can-
comfy because they're
yeah.
fuzzy. So
Okay.
that way we
You
can
can
all go
fuzzy,
into his
yeah.
hole. We can all go into that one room one by one and never come out again.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe just us. We can let the others read it later if they want. I don't think Flynn.
I nod quickly.
yeah, let's exclude him from all our closure and our bonding. That'll clearly make him a better friend. Yeah, that makes sense. So you want to do that tomorrow, like not this minute, maybe?
See if we can do it tonight. We've only got a few days left, and this is making me nervous. Like I want to use his shovel on Carl.
TJ gives a tight laugh.
Yeah, Sydney's treasure hunts could be pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
Like having it hidden in a red panda's house, and big
Definitely.
impossible places. Yeah.
We're starting to be able to talk about him normally again. Maybe TJ's right about this.
Okay, I'll text him back and ask if I can call him.
Okay.
It takes me a little bit to figure out how to word TJ's request.
Because, he's only my best friend, so I have to get clear written permission before I can call him. Hey, man, can. Oh, wait, no, this is Chase. Hey, man, can TG and I come over and talk?
While we wait for Carl's response, TJ abruptly looks back up at me.
Are you and Carl intimate with each other again?
Like, TJ, not since college. God. Huh?
I mean, how he kissed you.
What? No. It's Carl. He kissed boys all the time. Just ask Flynn.
And I laugh.
That was just Carl being drunk, and my boner was completely accidental and not germane to the situation.
Okay.
TJ goes back to digging, his ears twitching around. I grin.
What, are you jealous? I could smooch you too, little Linksy boy. Mm?
No!
He says it way too fast and too loud.
I think Dolph protests too much. Hey, if you want to give me a kiss, I don't mind. Come on, TJ.
DJ doesn't respond, instead focusing hard on the ground he's digging up.
Uh, if you're sure I could do it again, I could do it instead. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
You just walk over there and then he pulls up a shovel, edge pointed at you. Get back! Jesus says get back!
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ repels you.
I have the power of God and my mom on my side. And trauma from my mom. I see his eyes widen, but he still doesn't say anything. I make kissy sounds at him, and that's when he flings some dirt up at me, smattering my pants with dark brown spots.
Ah, come on. Now you got dark spots on my front. They were only supposed to be on my back from, my musk glands having the oil ooze.
I see TJ smirk as he goes right back to work. I'm thinking about picking up another dirt clod, but that's when my phone buzzes again.
Yay!
We walk slowly up the length of Carl's driveway, all shadows covering its entire length in the light of the sunset. TJ is starting to drag his feet again as we get closer to the door, and I stop to look back at him.
You okay? I mean, you were only traumatized here once today. That's a record low for you, TJ.
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure we don't have to do this today? I'll suddenly be sensitive. We could come back tomorrow, when Carl's extra high.
TJ shakes his head, taking a swig of water from the water bottle we bought from the convenience store on the way here.
No, I'm just a little tired. It's been a long day, emotionally draining and being scarred by Janice.
Digging graves.
Seeing digging graves, seeing an almost naked woman, having Carl call me a murderer. It's a short day. I usually get that done by noon.
Yeah, it's the
But
usual. I wait for TJ to catch up, then match his stride as we make our way up the sidewalk, then up the steps to the door. TJ doesn't do anything, instead just gripping into his water bottle, making the plastic creak. I wait another second, then reach out across TJ to press the doorbell. The faint, fancy chime emanates from behind the door for a few seconds, followed by the clopping of Carl's hooves on the wooden floor. There's a pause once he reaches the door, and I imagine him hesitating as he reaches for the door handle. A second later, though, it swings open, revealing a bleary-eyed, red-eyed ram. Carl blinks at us a few times through the bright orange sun behind us. Finally, he steps aside, opening the door wider.
you guys.
There's a pause as I wait to see if TJ will say anything. When he doesn't, I clear my throat and step forward through the door.
Hey, man, you okay? Also, do you have more pizza? I'm hungry.
Really?
Not really. No more pizza. I ate it all because I had the munchies.
I don't say anything in return, instead spreading my arms out in the cool air of the mansion. I turn around and wait as TJ steps through the doorway, the links framed in the golden sunlight, the fine hairs of his fur lit up like white hot wires.
That's when the audio
I
of the
see
house comes on and goes, Hallelujah. Ah, because he's
I see
Christian.
Carl's hand that's not on the door sort of twitch like he's grabbing something in the air.
Again, if you're so high you're grasping at invisible flies, just a great sign. That's not a sign of drug abuse or anything you should be worried about. Yeah, no, that's just a good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
TJ stands next to me, looking back at Carl.
Hello.
Carl rubs vigorously, rubs it.
listen.
Carl vigorously rubs at his arm.
You gotta get the
Carl.
double rub on there. I mean, that's how you know it's awkward.
Hey, redundancy is the main point of certain types of writing.
Okay. Carl rubs vigorously at his arms.
Well, no. Let's read it the way it's supposed to be. Carl rubs, vigor. Okay,
Carl
that's a little too
It
much.
is called Echo.
Carl,
It is
Carl
Echo.
pauses for a moment. I get the idea that he's wanting TJ to tell him that everything's okay so that he doesn't have to explain anything. That would definitely make things easier. But he doesn't say anything, just watches the ram. Carl rubs behind his head for a second, looking back out the door. I'm not sure why it's so hard for him to apologize to TJ. I had thought it was weird that Carl had apologized to me instead of the Lynx in the first place.
Listen.
Carl takes a big, shuddery breath, blowing it out loudly.
I was really, really messed up earlier. I wasn't thinking right. You know, accusing people of murder. That's like an afternoon thing, not a morning thing. God.
Yeah, TJ continues to watch Carl silently. His ears are up, at least. Carl stutters and stumbles over a few more syllables before he continues.
And like I wasn't thinking straight. To be fair, Flynn had just left, so thinking straight is just was like not on the table.
He scuffs the hardwood floor loudly with a hoof.
And I don't think you did anything like that. I was just pissed off because Mike Gila told me to be, and I do whatever he tells me.
TJ is quiet for a few more seconds, but Carl doesn't offer anything more.
So, why were you angry?
Carl sighs, then leans his head back against the door, his horns knocking loudly against it.
You said some shit that I'm ass hurt about. Okay, it wasn't your fault. I mean, you only brought up like my greatest trauma. I mean, come on, TJ.
TJ folds his arms, looking down.
Well, what what was it I said?
Carl shakes his head.
Stupid shit, like I mean, stupid because of me, stuff about school and crashing my car and brought up old stuff for me.
Oh,
But I don't think you ever did anything like I said. So I was just being a huge dick, which Flynn likes, but apparently that was not good in that situation. Sorry.
His voice breaks a little at the end as he quickly looks at the door, his ears down. TJ is again quiet. I think about changing the subject now that the apology is out of the way, but TJ speaks first.
thanks, Carl. And I'm sorry I brought stuff up like that. I'll try to remember in the future.
Carl shakes his head, looking back up.
Not your fault.
We stand there awkwardly for a few more seconds. Again.
I guess I thought maybe Flynn had been saying stuff to you. That was why you said it.
Huh? Oh, he's not my secret boyfriend. Shut up, TJ.
Carl's non-denial hangs heavy in the air. I haven't seen Flynn in days, and I'm wondering what he's been up to in that time. I'll have to ask Carl when TJ isn't around. As of now, though, I want to change the subject because things are getting a little awkward.
So, TJ and I had a idea about the scavenger hunt thing.
Carl looks at me as if just now realizing that I'm there.
Scavenger hunt? What? What are those?
Oh, yeah, the scavenger hunt.
The treasure hunt. TJ scratches
Oh,
his
yeah, treasure hunt.
arm, looking embarrassed.
Sydney's treasure hunt? I doubt he left it all in one piece. I mean, who would write a show about that?
TJ scratches harder at his arm, looking more and more flustered, so I jump in.
Yeah, we were thinking about actually doing it to maybe find some closure. I mean, find all the pieces of Gold Rogers, with the poneglyphs. Why not?
Carl frowns.
Really? Because that show would take like 30 years to write.
TJ stops scratching at his arm, his ears coming back up.
Yeah, yeah. I believe things happen for a reason. That you found it now while we're all here means something, I think.
Man, I mean, it's really old. Do you think any of the stuff would be there right now?
Maybe,
Like by
but
magic?
I guess I'm not really looking to find anything. It's like a thing we can do while we remember him.
I think it's a good way to find closure, especially if we find nothing and everyone stops asking questions about Sydney's death.
I try to back TJ up under Carl's somewhat bewildered stare. The ram strokes his chin.
I guess that sort of makes sense. I mean, if you're okay with doing it, like, I mean, you want to do it, Chase? I got
TJ
spare rooms up here.
TJ squares his stance, looking up.
I am. It's been so long feeling this way. I feel like this might be our last chance to do something.
Carl looks over at me. I nod, indicating that I feel the same way. I don't fully understand this new direction that TJ either, but I sure as hell supported him.
Well, okay then. I'll go grab it. You want to just open it now?
Let's let's go to the motel or something. With Jenna there too.
No. Yeah.
Carl finally shuts the door before making his way into the stairs. TJ seems to deflate then, his shoulders hunching back in.
That wasn't so bad.
I mumble to him once I think Carl's out of earshot.
Yeah, it was okay.
We stand there awkwardly as we wait. The whole situation is so strange. Carl comes back with a crumpled looking white envelope in his hands. TJ eyes it, the fur standing up on the back of his neck.
So, you dudes want to drive back to the motel, or I guess we're gonna hoof it? I mean, because I have hooves. Actually, we didn't drive. So, yes, hoofing it is literally what you have to do, Carl.
Carl drops his hands to his sides.
Are you freaking serious? I can't walk in this heat. I mean, I have wool and a hoodie. I'm like the worst person dressed for this heat. TJ did, and he's an Arctic animal.
I took up some of the fur on the links of the neck to show Carl. TJ actually jumps a bit, and I quickly let go. I want to ask him what's wrong, but Carl keeps talking.
Man, I'm gonna smell like shit when we get there, as opposed to the nice fragrance of weed a la Jeremy that I normally smell like.
Yeah, like what does he think? Like this scavenger hunt or this treasure hunt is just gonna not make him sweaty and smelly?
It's going to teleport them to the Arctic or something where he doesn't
Yeah,
sweat.
you know.
Well, like Jen is gonna
Yeah.
totally look down on me if I'm smelly. I mean, it's not like we established that earlier in the route. The sun's almost gone anyway. So three dudes walking in the dark through meth land. Great idea. Let's do that.
Yeah, to Methland. Carl smits at me.
I sweat walking in the wintertime because I have wool, I'm a sheep. Do you guys not get this?
Yeah, no, it's almost like wearing
Uh
a sweater is kind of stupid for him, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
you could take a shower at our motel. Please, Carl, get naked around me. I want you more naked, Carl. Especially, show off the goods to TJ so I can get him in the mood.
Carl
Mm.
blows his breath out loudly, frowning.
Okay, but I'm gonna put on more deodorant before we go. I'm gonna be considerate for once.
The walk back isn't so bad. Carl makes it out to be a lot worse than Carl makes it out to be a lot worse than it is with all his gasping and wiping his face constantly. We stop by Jaundic's place and spray him down with gray water so cool down.
Make sure
TJ
he
gets a
drinks
text
some.
from
To be fair,
yeah,
he's
right.
rich, so he gets the gray water as opposed to the black water that TJ and Chase get. So
Yeah, it's less chunky.
Hey,
TJ,
Carl, do you want some of Jaundic's cookies?
how about some lemonade? Also, look at this hole. TJ gets a text from Jenna to meet at the diner instead of the motel since she's going there for dinner anyway. Once we walk in, Carl lets out a gasping groan of relief that turns a few heads. Jenna looks up at us from the booth and waves us over. I wave back and start making my way over.
okay, to be fair, Carl has made this walk multiple times, both in the intro and this route. So him being a bitch about this is just well. Anyway, going to the bathroom. I gotta wait my chance because my pits. TJ, do not think I'm going to present to you.
TJ makes a sour face as he follows me to the table. Jenna scoots in so we can slide in next to her. So, what's this all about?
Carl found a treasure hunt that Sydney made. Not suspicious at all.
Jenna toys with her brows,
Browse.
with her brown leather purse, staring at it. Okay, like a map or something?
Letter. I can tell that just from 1,000 yards of an envelope. I can tell its contents. I'm that good.
What are you going to do with it?
Eat it.
Well, I'm
Eat
a
it.
journalist, so I'm going to investigate. Never mind the journalism project that I'm not doing.
Tastes like
Well,
Sydney.
Mm.
Well, I look over at TJ, but he doesn't say anything. Instead, looking out the window at the sunset.
we're thinking about doing it. Come on, Jenna. You want to do it? Come on, Jenna. Let's do it right now.
Thinking about
Freeway.
You're thinking about going on a treasure hunt?
No, Jenna, I said let's do it. Come on. Come on. Keep up, Jenna. Yeah?
I mean, Jenna pauses, clearly trying to choose her words carefully. I mean, would there be anything left of it at this point? It would have to be at least 11 years old by now. Jenna looks over at TJ, studying his reaction. He doesn't give her anything, though, still staring out the window. I spread my hands out on the table, instantly regretting it as I feel the grease slide under the pads.
Well, we're seeing it more of a closure
Excuse me.
kind of thing. You, as a psychology major, should understand like a grieving process is part of cognition. Like a send off. We're not really expecting to find anything, girl. Like, come
Oh,
on now.
I already finished with that. But you guys are lagging behind. I mean, jeez. TJ finally looks back at us.
He made it for us, so I feel like we should do it for him.
Hmm. Jenna stares back down at her purse. I guess Flynn won't be involved?
No, silly girl. Why would we include him into, closure about his closest, dearest friend that he's clearly still deeply in love with? Why would we ever try to make him feel any better or help him in any way? He's dead to us.
And Leo?
He's going to be busy for most of the week. I don't think he'd really want to anyway. So what is Leo going to be busy with?
Why not?
The stalker guy is just gonna totally not try to stalk us in this route for reasons,
I mean, he's currently
even though he
outside the
does in 4
window.
out of 5 of the routes.
I mean, he's currently hiding out the window right now, like literally right next to them, listening to us. Going,
Yeah, he's in the bushes watching his watching his otter.
His eyes watering. He's basically crying.
Yeah, his mouth watering like he's because he is the big bad wolf.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like, I'm gonna huff and puff and blow that otter's house down, or at least the otter.
He's got a little like journal that he has, and he picks his finger with a needle, then writes a love letter to Chase before like turning so he can run a little.
Yeah, in blood. Yeah.
He's Sideshow Leo.
Yeah, Leo was going to huff and puff and blow Chase's pants off.
Like he's gonna eventually like fall off a dam with Chase. They're gonna be like, oh, oh.
Like, Chase, come with me down to the train tracks, Chase. This always goes so well. Come on, Chase.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Oh, my legs. Now TJ looks like he's trying to choose his words carefully.
He pretends like it never happened. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it back up for him.
No one says anything else until Carl shows back up, the fur on his head and face a little wet. Carl. Jenna nods at him as he sits across from me. He reaches across the table, snatching up a menu from the metal holder at the center.
I'll pay if anybody wants something. I'm rich. Behold, that's why my name is Green.
Jenna curls a lip in disgust. But I'm starving, so I start browsing the menu as well. TJ goes back to staring out the window, and I can see his ears twitching around. So, where's this treasure hunt thing? Carl looks up and sees Jenna staring at him.
I have it. I almost forgot. Anyway, this thing that we're all doing. I'm gonna order real quick though, if Chase is ready. Like, because the two of you clearly don't eat food. Look at how skinny you are.
I nod, and Carl waves his menu at Jaundice, who quickly bustles over our way with a tray of glasses of water. She's wearing pants now, but there's still definitely something off about her. Her eyes are wide, her smile more like a grimace as she sets down our glasses and straws. She takes our orders well enough, though, and Jenna waits patiently as Carl and I order a meal and TJ gets a smoothie. Carl methodically tears off one end of the wrapper of his straw before he blows the other end, shooting the rest of the wrapper at me. I flinch and try to catch it, failing as it falls to the floor. Jenna clears her throat loudly. So, where is it? Carl looks at her, the straw still in his mouth.
Right.
Carl reaches into his pocket and pulls out the envelope. He pushes it onto the table, face up. There's writing in black marker on the front. Treasure hunt number 7.
Lucky number 7.
I know. We all stare at it. We all stare at treasure hunt number 7.
Should we read it or just like stare at the envelope? I mean, reading it would be like weird and stuff, you guys. Now that we're all here to look at it.
Carl sets a hand down on treasure. No. Carl sets a hand down on the letter.
Or something else, like maybe we could like Please spin the bottle. Jenna, you're the wild card.
They just burn the letter. Their closure. Carl's
Honestly,
eyes,
that would be healthier for him.
probably. Carl's eyes briefly flick over to TJ, then quickly look back down at the letter. TJ's hand comes up, then surreptitiously scratches at an ear before letting it fall back into his lap. It
Well,
does seem in a
serendipitously
Mhm.
California. Dang it, I can't
Serendipitously.
remember I can't remember the rest of the word. Dang it.
It does
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
it
Mhm.
does seem appropriate that TJ open it, but if he doesn't want to. Carl looks just as hesitant, so I finally reach out and gently slide it out from under his hand.
I can read it. I'm an otter. I'm good at that. I can read other otters'
Yeah,
handwriting.
me read good.
You read good.
Why out the hot the food when in cold food?
I give you what is his name again? Chase. I give you the Chase Center for kids who can't read good.
What is this? The center for ants?
No one objects, so I open it carefully, not wanting to rip anything as I pry the adhesive apart. A chill goes up my spine for some reason. A strange, surreal vision comes to my mind's eye of inky blackness leaking out of the envelope, spilling across the table. I can feel it, too, like a cold draft is wafting from inside, wafting.
Yeah, it's like a ghost wrote this or something. Weird.
Yeah. I pause, feeling an emptiness in my chest. What the hell? I give my head a small shake, breaking out of the trance. I guess it's only natural I feel this way. That's Sidney's handwriting on a letter sealed after he licked it. He loved making these treasure hunts. It's really sad, so it makes sense that I'd feel this sudden drop in mood. I swallow as I continue to pry it open, the feeling getting worse and worse as I do. When it's finally fully open, the feeling slowly subsides. Tension in the air seems to melt away, too, like the whole town just let out a sigh of relief. I look up for a moment and the others. I look up for a moment at the others, wondering if they feel the same way. It's hard to tell as they're all looking intently down at my hands. I quickly look down again and stick my finger inside, feeling a piece of paper catch at the pad. Gently, I press down on it and slowly slide it out from the envelope. It's bright white copy paper, folded once in half. It's been creased so long that it's starting to part at the fold, in the middle part, so that the edges are barely holding it together. Black blotches bleed through the paper, probably written with the same ink, with the same dark marker that was used for the envelope. I gently unfold it, not wanting to rip it apart any more than it already has been. The big black, the big blocky black letters are sloppy and childish. Even though it's only a few sentences, it covers the entire page. The last words trail off into a tiny, almost illegible scrawl. It drops off down the side of the paper as Sidney realized that he ran out of room at the end.
I do like that in Chase's inner monologue, he has to like randomly give strays to Sydney's handwriting. Like, no, no, my dead friend, no, no, his writing as a 10-year-old was childish. And look he didn't even have proper spacing. His kerning of the letters was far inferior to mine.
Yes, oh, yes, me, oh.
Mm.
uh, okay,
I clear my throat and start reading aloud. Welcome to Treasure Hunt number 7. This is the biggest one so far, and it took a long time. So no cheating this time. I'm talking about you, Carl and Chase. No skipping steps. First clue. These things fly really high. It's in their home. It's in their home with my comb. Chase, you don't have to do this one. I know you hate it. You'll see if you figure it out. Good luck, guys. Sid. I feel my throat close up just a little as I stare down at his name. He always wanted to go by Sid, but never stuck, so none of us ever did. It just didn't suit him. I look back up at the others. Carl is Carl is still staring at the paper, and TJ's looking out the window again. Jenna has a hand up to her mouth, staring as well. Wow. Then she wipes at her eyes, and I look away. I guess I never really thought. I guess I never really thought about how this might affect Jenna. She and Sydney never really got along because of the way he treated TJ. But still, he was just a kid, like the rest of us. Carl lets out a ragged cough.
I do like how Sydney also loads up his treasure hunts with just random strays against Chase. Like clearly the Otter Boys just hate each other. And it's just like, no, no, no. I'm contacting you from beyond the grave with my ghost treasure hunt. But fuck you, Chase. Stray. And just like runs by and like clotheslines him just in case, just because he can.
As he's sprinting by, he just haymakers him.
Yeah. He's like, just one last fu to Chase while he's in the grave.
That's awesome.
Oh, that whole cheating thing was totally you, Chase, not me. I'm the most innocent ram in the world. I'm not smoking anything, you guys.
I look up at Carl, raising a brow.
Uh, you're the one that totally told me to do it. Carl, get under this bus. Look, the bus is coming. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. There you go. Good ram.
Carl smirks.
And you're the one that did it. I only conspired to the crime. You did the murder, Chase. Come on.
What did you do?
TJ asks quietly from the corner, finally looking away from the window.
Well, Sydney liked to reuse certain hiding spots. I mean, there were only so many places he could use, so cheating was totally fine then. I mean, yeah, and Chase went straight to Sydney's mailbox and ruined the whole thing like a boss, which is why I love Chase. And Chase, want to come back to my place?
I was like 8.
Oh, sorry. The thing didn't click. There it goes. I was like 8. Turns out that the last spot he got was the prize.
Carl makes finger quotes around the last word.
Yeah, and one of those plastic clapper things we used in elementary school for reading a lot. He was so mad. He's like, he thought it was going to be like the One Piece that, would unite the world and, bring the sun god back. But no, it was plastic clapper. Yeah, I know.
I remember dropping it on the ground because of how lame it was. I also remember Sydney crying, but I'm not gonna bring it up. Carl seems to have at least lightened the mood, though, and Jenna stopped wiping at her eyes. I'm starting to think TJ was right about this whole closure thing.
I know where he's talking about for this one, though. So let me just use outside knowledge to totally cheat at this one too.
I tapped the paper with a finger.
Yeah, it's the birdhouse. Like the birdhouse in your soul. Do you guys like remember that Let's Be Giant song? Come on, you guys, let's totally get high and listen to that.
Birdhouse? Oh, where is that?
A forest.
TJ sits up straighter, ears up as well.
The birdhouse is on one of the trees close to the road.
Oh, well, I never went in there because of all the shit. Sorry, all this stuff that would get in my fur. TJ looks back out the window, the sun gone now, though the clouds in the sky are still tinged red.
You guys want to do it tonight?
The same wooded area where a certain trailer is, but let's not worry about that. I mean, the chances of us getting raped by a giant cocaine bear is pretty low, right? Only like 50-50, right?
I mean, how many, like, big platforms does he have? Does he have, like, six of them? Six of them with mirrors above them for no apparent reason? No, he has them slotted so that he can just turn a crank and it just goes to the next one.
Well, let's just say there's a party version of Brian's place that we'll see in another route.
Oh.
So, anyway, really, it's getting kind of late and we still gotta eat. Like, I got the munchies. You guys see how red my eyes are? Like, this isn't for show.
Carl looks eagerly over at the front counter, though the small rectangle that leads through the small rectangle that leads to the kitchen.
We can use Chase's car. Besides, it might be kind of fun in the dark.
TJ adds the last bit meekly.
Because, when it's dark, that's when the ghosts come out, like the ghost that clearly wrote this letter and hid it in the weirdest place to find it. But anyway, oh, hell no. I'm afraid of ghosts. I get possessed by them like all the time.
As long as you guys know where it is, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. I gently fold the letter back up and start tucking it back into the envelope.
Um, what was. What did he mean by saying you didn't have to do that one, Chase?
I look up at TJ, then back down at the letter as I gently press the lid of the envelope closed.
The forest is only triggering for my hallucinations. It's not much. I thought I saw something and got scared that time, but that was a long time ago. At least that's what I think he's talking about, even though it happened after his death, and only a ghost could have written that.
Jenna clears her throat, seeming to have collected herself. I think I remember that. My parents told me about it. I frown.
Really? Wait, Jenna, your parents actually like gave you good parental advice of like, hey, that child has mental illness. Maybe be, sensitive and careful
I
around him?
didn't
Like that's weirdly
I
insightful.
didn't
What?
like the idea of that.
What did you see?
I shrug.
John Begay's murder, John Begay's lynching, but anyway, a person in the trees.
A hanging person.
Oh.
TJ shudders.
So fucking so hell fucking no going there tonight then. Sorry for the F word teach, but I say fuck all the time because I like to fuck. I'm around. I like to fuck. It's fine. I saw a whole lot of things as a kid. Certainly isn't a psychic power that is real in the Echoverse. That's totally not it.
I'm not going to tell them how I am definitely still scared of that place. Besides, TJ looks really eager to start this, so I'm not going to ruin it for him. But really, that's not what's bothering me right now. I look down at my hands as I try to work out a timeline in my head. When was that incident happening in the forest? I thought I'd been 10 at the time, since that was when I started going to a psychiatrist. I started going because of that, but that would be impossible because
Look at her.
Yeah, here we go.
You don't want to see that with no pants? Come on.
No, I really don't.
what you're not seeing is that she's still not wearing pants. She's just covering it all up.
Her small gizzard pants is a dress. Here we are.
A plate with a massive burger and steak fries lands in front of my face. The big coyote sets a smoothie down for DJ and an even bigger veggie burger for Carl.
Hey, Jaundice, is Julian working today?
Jaundice smiles at TJ.
No, dear. He's only here when I'm not. He'll be in tomorrow if you're looking to find him. Okay, thanks.
Jaundice then clutches her tray to her chest and watches us for a moment.
Listen, Chase and TJ, why don't you come by my house again when you get the chance? I need to see, how much it takes to fill up those, holes,
I need to get your measurements.
I need to get your
So I can-
measurements.
So, and do you know where I can get some wood?
Like, I borrowed this table from Brian, just for TJ. So, why and a mirror too. So why don't you boys come on over? I can, get you all fixed up.
Mm-hmm. He told me that I can use my hands like this, and people like it. I look up at Jaundice and see she's got a strange look on her face, confused and worried looking.
What's wrong, Jaundice?
TJ's voice is full of concern.
Did we do something wrong? I mean, we only did exactly as you said. If something's wrong, it's all your fault.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
disgrace.
I was just following orders, good general. I don't know.
No, you did everything wonderfully. I just want to have a talk about the way I acted the past few days. Molesting you, giving you black water cookies, and coming up to you undressed and still not being fully dressed. Lifts up the skirt. See, it's just a whole bunch of stuff,
Because
just need to tell you, just get some things off my chest, and
especially the shirt.
Brian asked me to try to sell this sugar cane. That's what the sugar cane.
Jaundice
Well,
looks
it's a
out
cane
and
of some kind, he didn't tell me which variety of cane it is, but whether it was the cocaine or the sugar cane, I don't know.
I think he called it some like chalk cane or something like that. Jaundice lets out an exasperated sounding laugh.
Not really sure. It could be cocaine. What something like that. I think it's something he said. Anyways, it goes into soft drinks early in the centuries. Anyways, not really sure what came over me. Just not realizing how strange it all was. Just also need to.
Glances.
Go ahead.
She glances at Carl.
But
Can I just say something real quick?
no.
It's super weird that somehow them
Jaundice.
opening an envelope has cured her of her highness. Like she's no longer tripping out on drugs because they opened an envelope. Like instantly, like that minute.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, oh no, I'm sober now. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But we can talk about it later in person. Enjoy dinner, and just so you know, there's none of that extra, sugar cane, cocaine powder in any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in
You
the
gotta pay
smoothie.
extra.
She bustles off, tray still held against her body. Carl watches her go, stuffing a few fries into his mouth.
I could totally go for that.
Okay, Carl, go have at it.
Like, why didn't she invite me over for yard work? I would have totally seen her palace and been like, "Oh, Janice, please let me in for the Blackwater cookies. Oh, what's this table? I guess I'll lay on it. Ooh,
Ooh,
uh,
there are handcuffs. Let me
what was
just put
that
them around
about?
my own wrist.
Brown chicken.
She's like, let me get my fetlock right locked in here. Oh, Janice. Anyway, what was that about, guys? Don't ask Carl.
The way Jaundice had looked at Carl makes me think she doesn't want him knowing about what had happened.
I think she feels bad for making us work so much, digging that grave, that normal thing that, you get the normal neighbor kids to do all the time.
I look over meaningfully at TJ.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
TJ quickly starts sucking on his straw. Well, she should. Jenna's sitting back in the booth, having taken out her brush, and started grooming the fur on her face and head. I inconspicuously slide my plate a little further away from her. So you don't get it further.
Yeah, you don't want Jenna's fur in your food.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, girl, go
Oh,
to the
come on,
bathroom.
Chase. You clearly worship the ground she walks on. You want all of that in your mouth.
It's funny.
We
It's like
know
you
how
say
Chase
that.
rolls.
It's funny you say that because I'm doing Jenna's route, and he totally I try to make it sound like he's just like dreamily staring at her when he starts describing her and how pretty she is, and he's just kind of almost like he's blinking slowly and smiling, almost drifting off.
Oh yeah, no. He immediately, once he gets buy mode unlocked, he immediately becomes a simp.
Yeah, he's totally. It's
Like,
oh
there's no
yeah.
stand. He is no stand. He immediately goes simp mode and it's just like, oh, I'm just going to be led around by the wrist through the mall. All right, everybody. Oh no, here's my evil ex, Jenna, save me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, once we finish, we could go to my car and head to the forest. The spooky forest full of dead ghosts. Let's go.
As I lift my burger and take a bite, I look over at the counter and I see Jaundice leaning over her notepad. Her shoulders are shaking, and it takes me a moment to realize that she's crying. The forest is really just a patch of trees in the side of the road near Leah's house. While it's technically small, it still covers several acres, which is enough to get lost in.
Yeah, if only we had a raccoon to show us a water pump around
Can,
here.
can,
That would really help.
so that does raise a question. So, I know that humans favor one leg when they walk. So if you don't have any thing to get your bearings on, you kind of just walk around in big circles in the forest.
Oh yeah, I saw a
And
MythBusters about that where they
yeah,
literally tested it, and you see both Jamie and Adam just drift randomly,
yeah,
in completely the wrong direction because they're just trying to go straight, and it's just like, nope, can't do it.
yeah. So it raises the question: is that circle small enough to actually fit in this? I don't think so, but maybe. Anyway, the sky is a soft blue now, just enough light to see by. It won't be long before that won't be the case, though. I pull off to the side of the road in a spot where I think the birdhouse might be. It's been well over a decade since the last time I've seen it. It's probably where the treasure hunt is going to end, considering the time that's passed. The birdhouse probably isn't even there anymore. We all step out of the car into the warm evening air. Carl folds his arms on the hood of the car and grins at me.
Even the sun's gone. It's roasting. See, even with the sun gone, it's roasting. At least you could drive me home now. Like I'm going to be a whiny ram until my Gila gets here to give me the medicine that I need, which is his dick.
Not even subtle about
Yeah.
Not even subtle.
She's just like, yeah, no, I understand that. Leo had to give me his medicine.
I look over at Leo's house, but his truck is gone. TJ catches my glance.
it. I might tell him what's going on if we find something, and you want him to help, want him to join us.
TJ picks at his claws.
It's all right. I mean, even though Leo drives a van, as we firmly established in every other route, but I guess his truck's gone, so I
I,
guess no Leo fun tonight.
I give him a quick side hug as we step up to the edge of the trees. I can see why TJ doesn't want to tell Leo about this. He was right about Leo pretending it didn't happen. I can't imagine it would go well if we told him about dredging up old Sydney's scavenger hunts. So, where is it? Jenna looks out into the empty ditch between us and the forest, wrinkling her nose at the old scraps of garbage inside.
Well,
Carl looks up and down the tree line, squinting.
it looks like different now, but then again, I'm like super high, so like everything seems different. Who's this gay otter? I don't know that I'm talking to, but I think it's about here, like only like 10 feet in. By feet, I mean yards or miles or decameters.
Carl looks at me.
That sounds about right. I mean, 10 decameters, we as Americans use that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We can fan out and check all the trees that close to the road.
TJ jumps across the ditch lightly, much more lightly than the clumsy hop I execute right after. I land unevenly on the opposite incline and windmill my arms as I lean back. Carl starts laughing before I even fall, but TJ reaches out and grabs me by the shirt, yanking me back up from the ditch. I fall into him awkwardly and quickly step back, brushing myself off even though there isn't anything on me.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks.
I glance over at Carl, who's still laughing.
Yeah, yeah, did you even like try, man? Like,
He
I'm still high.
he leaps over easily, clearing the ditch along with a few more feet.
Okay, when Carl can now jump you, you've gone wrong somewhere in some kind of life choice.
Right.
Oh yeah, Carl. How well can you swim? Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, that's almost as bad as losing to a cow that can jump over the moon. I mean, like really. Anyway, That's not fair. I'm an otter. Otters can't jump. We've all seen that movie of where otter guys try to play basketball and then everybody whoops all our asses and then we're like, oh,
Don't let that hold you back.
don't let that hold you back from dreams. Cause like I got all the dreams.
Janelle likes to delicately step around the garbage before climbing up the other side.
It's okay. You can swim better than any of us, Chase.
I sigh.
Thank Tej, point out my, species aptitude. Let's all just be extra racist. Hey, Carl, you want to eat some grass? Come on, Carl, you want to eat some grass?
I mean, he's smoking some grass. I turn back to the forest, which is much darker as the light struggles to filter through the branches and leaves.
Well, let's start before it gets too dark. I mean, the moon might come out somehow, maybe. I don't know how it's going to get lighter.
We spread out amongst the trees. I'm stuck with. I'm struck with how quiet it is. The only sound is the crunch of our feet on dead leaf on the dead vegetation, and that starts to fade as the others move further away from me. I zigzag through the trees, trying to get a look at their full circumferences. From what I remember, the birdhouse was a plain old wooden thing that hardly stood out from the trunk that it was attached to. We might not see it even if we were looking right at it. Well, it's been a long time. Walking between these trees does bring back some memories. We stopped coming here after what happened to Sydney, mainly because this was his favorite place to hang out. He liked playing capture the flag here. I can still remember how fast he was, how I'd only catch glimpses of his tail between the trees before he disappeared with the flag. His team won almost every time. The summer of 2002 was the last. Yeah, I know, right? Because now we just 2019, 2018. The summer of 2002 was the last time we played. Sydney had even been getting along with TJ then. Well, better, at least. That might have been the best summer of my life until it happened. It was almost like Echo saw us having too much fun and wanted to end it. For good. Sydney had still been a dick, though. The image of Sydney whipping TJ mercilessly with the towel we use as a flag comes to mind. I move closer to the edge of the tree line before slanting back in again. Looking up between the branches, I see the sky is a darker blue now. Pretty soon it'll be pitch black. It was about this light last time I was here. I'd come alone when I was 10, maybe 9. It's hard to remember now, but I think I had gone here because I was sad. I'd had good memories of the forest, so I thought going there might make me feel better. I was standing in the forest, waiting to see if I did feel better. It didn't happen, so I sat down on the leaves and started crying. I was there for maybe 5 minutes before I heard some branches creaking above me. I looked and saw feet swinging around. This confused me, so I stood up and backed away, staring up as I slowly realized I was seeing a fox being hung by its neck. Even now, I can remember the way he looked, his overalls and his white shirt. His head had been tilted down towards me, his tongue lolling out of his muzzle, his eyes blank. I can even remember what looked like pinkish red blood on the white fur of his chin. Then I tripped over a branch, and when I looked back, he was gone. I can't remember much after that, except I had gone home and told my parents. That ended up with me seeing a doctor. They never found anything wrong with me, at least anything that might relate to seeing things. In the end, we were told that sometimes kids hallucinate. that it would stop happening as I got older. I hugged myself, feeling cold and a little scared now that I brought up that old memory. While I know that I was at the age where kids hallucinate most often, I can I still can't get out of my mind how real it had been. Still, it's not exactly what's giving me the chills right now, because I just realized that that had been the summer after Sydney passed. That's why I was sad, because I remembered how happy the summer before that had been. So what Sydney wrote down doesn't make any sense, unless I'm going crazy. A creak behind me makes me jump, and I whirl around, scanning the branches, terrified of what I might see. But there's nothing, just branches creaking in the wind. I stare for a while longer before a shout comes down the tree line that makes me jump.
I found it!
It's TJ's voice, high pitched and excited. I shake myself out of my trance and start jogging towards where the lynx's voice had come from. Maybe I confused things and I'm just remembering things incorrectly. It's the only thing that makes any sense. As I come up on the lynx, Carl and Jenna are already there, standing around the tree trunk. Sure enough, a little wooden birdhouse is tied to the trunk with rusty wires.
Okay, Chase is just like, unless I'm going crazy. Anyway, let me tell you this long story about how I hallucinated about a guy getting lynched right over here. It's like, yeah, that would be a sign of the crazy there, Chase. Hallucinating. I just find it so hilarious that a doctor would say, "Yeah, kids just grow out of hallucinations. We don't need to, worry about, any of this." As a doctor, just kids grow out of hallucinations.
He's cuckoo.
But
He's
anyway,
cuckoo for Foxy Puffs.
Yep,
it's not like he's being possessed by some kind of sex worker cat ghost. That would be crazy. Anyway, he just sees, the past of,
I can't
all of
believe
Echo's
it's still
dead.
here.
Yeah. Sorry.
It does look pretty beat up.
Jenna points to a little wooden plug in the opening. It's closed up.
I think it's been closed this whole time.
I don't know. Maybe.
TJ pokes at the plug with a claw, then grips around the edge and with all his claws before gently pulling the wooden cork-like thing out. A thick, sticky-looking trail of cobwebs follows it. We all stare into the dark hole that's revealed.
Jeez, what a reach in there. I'm sure there aren't any spiders. Jenna, get the rubber. Get the rubber one.
I shiver involuntarily.
I don't really want to either.
Jenna sighs before pushing past TJ. Bending over, she picks up a twig and sticks it into the hole before swirling it around. When she pulls it back out, it's like she's made a cotton candy cone of spider webs.
She watched Shrek. She's gonna eat it, give it to Fiona.
She drops that, then takes out her phone, turning on the flash before holding it up to the opening. Well, we all wait anxiously for her to say something. There is something here. With that, she reaches in with just her fingers. After a few crinkling sounds, she pulls out a Ziploc bag, and inside is a folded up piece of paper with a blue comb.
Woo!
Well, no one ever comes back here, so I guess it would make sense.
Brian doesn't like bird, so, he never messes with it. He actually put a comb in there to make it rhyme.
Jenna makes a few jerking motions away from the birdhouse to get rid of the cobwebs. She looks around, then sticks it out to me. Since you read the last one,
Okay.
I glance at TJ, but he doesn't seem to make any indication that he might want it. The bag is covered in what looks like dirt and cobwebs. A few clumps of both dangle from the bottom. I open it carefully, and when I pull out the paper, I can tell that it's been wet. That's been wet a few times. It's a little crumpled, but when I unfold it, the water damage isn't bad enough that I can't read it. Still, the paper immediately splits in two this time, and I have to hold them together as I read it. It's dark to the point where I have to have Carl hold up his phone to give me some light. Good job. But that was a little easy, right? Next, we will find out how brave you are. I know this was already scary. This is already a scary test for Chase, but that doesn't count. Do you really remember? Get a flashlight and make sure Leo is with you. Here it is. Stay in school. It will be cool. We'll have fun at 301. I hope you don't die, Sid. We're all quiet for a moment, then TJ giggles. I look at him and he's covering his mouth with a hand so that we can't see him smiling.
That's not really a riddle, is it?
I smile.
Go easy on him. He was a kid.
Sorry.
So, the old school in room 301. I assume that's what he meant by a test of courage. The cowardly dog.
Fruit. He went there all by himself. I wouldn't even do that now because it's full of ghosts, and I'm afraid of ghosts.
The ghosts of old principles.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was a little weird.
The feeling that something isn't right grows inside my chest. Well, we have to break the law to get in there. We'd be trespassing. Jenna glances at TJ because we all know the Lynx wouldn't dare break the law. Besides, it's getting late. Maybe we can go check it out tomorrow. One of us can go in for you, TJ. TJ looks up at the sky where stars are starting to twinkle through the branches.
Well, if we're going to trespass, we should do it at night, right?
Jenna's mouth falls open. What? TJ looks flustered.
I mean, we don't have all that much time left here, so we should probably get as much of it done as we can.
So you're okay with breaking the law, TJ, you smooth criminal? Because you've been struck by. TJ's a smooth criminal. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, I scream. Well, yeah, if it means we can finish this, but one of us has to get Leo on board. Because it says I have Leo there.
We all stare at him.
I don't know what else to say. I am a smooth criminal. Da, 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 da. I just want to get this
Leo's
done.
in the bushes right over here.
I just really want to get this done. It feels right.
We're quiet for a moment before Carl claps his hands together.
Let's go. We still got a few hours before I go to bed. My early bedtime of 3 a.m. from my pot smoke.
Jenna sighs loudly. All right. but I want to get back before 10 so that I can finish my papers.
Yeah, don't worry. Onward, adventure. My edible just kicked in, so I'm all about adventure now. Woo!
Carl marches ahead of us, taking a running leap to cross the ditch. I look at TJ, who's looking fidgety again.
Hey, we'll finish this before we have to leave, okay?
TJ gives a small smile.
Okay.
Carl says that a cop still patrols Echo randomly at least once a night. Because of that, we let Jenna sit out in the car and keep watch. If someone shows up, she'll text us, which should give us time to get out the back of the school. Uh, it'll still look suspicious as hell, but as long as we're not caught on the property and have some sort of excuse, well, we should be fine. At least that's what Carl says. We stand there in front of the door, and I notice that a couple of chains hang loosely over the doors. No lock to be found.
Well, at least that hasn't changed.
Carl shrugs.
I mean, it lost the observatory from 1915, but who's counting? Teenagers break in here all the time. No point putting the lock on every time. I mean, it's where I get high with the teenagers.
Carl gives the door a shove, and it slides open very slowly, letting out an unearthly squeal as it does. The three of us stand there, staring into the abyss. TJ fidgets next to me.
Having second thought.
No!
His voice comes out in a crackly squeak that Carl snorts at.
Just so just so dark.
Nighttime has a way of doing that, my man. Like I do all my best work at night, like when Flynn sneaks in with all his black scales. But good thing I charged my phone battery before we left.
Carl takes out his phone from his pocket and holds it up before turning on the light.
Oh, mine's almost dead.
We can share. Just come close, TJ.
Also, why didn't these idiots decide to bring a flashlight?
Because that
Maybe
would
3
be
flashlights?
I think you nailed it on the head, Flynn or Finn.
Who are you calling Flynn, asshole?
Hey, you'll get over it. You just got to do it.
cycle through all of us for 6.
Carl
Which
sweeps
cycle?
the light inside, revealing graffiti, covered walls, and dirt-covered floors.
Nice.
I look back and see Jenna staring at us from the car. She gives me the thumbs up. I inhale deeply.
Well, let's go. Carl, quit admiring the artwork.
I take out my own phone and step inside, and TJ follows me. Carl stands next to us, spinning in a circle.
Well, it's not that creepy. I mean, I've seen creepier. This is like only top 3.
Okay, so the rooms here are the 200s.
TJ points up at the doorway next to us, a small label above it reading 203.
So that means we have to go up 1 floor.
Carl sweeps his light around and points to the staircase.
Yeah, so does that mean that the 100 rooms are in the basement?
Maybe.
Because they're on the ground floor. I don't know. Anyway, shall we?
Look how his
Those
voice
things better
changed.
be stable.
Shall we?
He's like, shall we?
all creepy.
I'm not scared. I'm not quivering in my voice. Shall we?
Yes.
Those things better be stable, Carl. With your fat ass on them.
Mm-hmm. Carl points his light up the staircase.
I can see some graffiti up there. It's probably fine. Because I'm just attracted to art, so I'm going to just follow the artwork.
The ram leads the way, at first tentatively setting a hoof on the first step before testing the next.
Yeah, it's good. My fat ass didn't break it, so you guys should be fine.
And with that, he strides up the stairs, while TJ and I are following more hesitantly.
Why don't they just demolish this place? Also, Carl, you're making this entire school sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, pop, every single stair.
I was like, dude, don't say that. You're going to make me even more hungry, and then I might eat you, TJ. Do you want that, TJ? Do you
Cereal.
want the 4, TJ?
Cereal.
Or they want to turn into a museum. I can't see why, though, I mean, only I belong in a museum.
Carl shines his light on the railing, the wood rotted and broken.
Hey, you guys remember when Chase saw someone staring at us from one of the windows up here? Like his seeing powers that we're establishing that he has?
Oh my gosh, please don't talk about this right now.
Do you remember that, Chase? Remember how your hallucinations might actually be a superpower? Come on, Chase. Yeah, actually, that was a long time ago. And Carl, please stop making light of my disability. It's a mental illness, and I am very sensitive about it. You weird high ram.
I hardly remembered it, but I do remember seeing a dark form in one of the windows. I'd been positive it was just an object sitting in the room, but I'd wanted to tell my friends that I'd seen a ghost. It was nothing like what I saw in the trees. Thinking about it is just creeping me out, though.
Stop!
TJ whines as we reach the top of the stairs, then, clearly trying to change the subject, points up at the door.
All right, 305. So maybe this way. Chase, let me see your phone.
TJ takes
He
it
just
from
starts
me.
going through his pictures.
Yeah, I was about to say that. TJ takes it from me, immediately goes to gallery and blushes, and then switches it off of gallery.
Mm-hmm.
TJ takes it from me and points it up at the next door over.
Yeah, 304. So the last one down.
He hands me back my phone and stands there a moment. Carl chuckles.
Want me to go first? You scared? Scared. I would call you a scaredy cat, TJ, but I guess that would be redundant.
TJ glares at him.
Come on, guys. I want to get out of here too. Because I'm a scaredy otter.
They just run into
Okay.
They just run into Psycho Nostalgia here.
Yeah, the socket man just shows up and says like, "Hey guys, I was just hanging out. You guys want to hang out with me?"
Carl leads the way again, down the hall to the very end. There's more stuff in the way on this floor, with a lot of desks and chairs. Carl keeps his light up, counting down the doors. 3.
303 and 302. 30.
TJ jumps a foot into the air, and I point my light at Carl.
What?
Carl turns around sheepishly, rubbing his hips.
Okay, that is just a redundant sentence because he is a sheep. Ran into the stupid desk. Hurts like a mother. Sorry, teach.
Really, Carl?
TJ clings to me, taking a deep breath.
But here's the door. Why was a desk outside in the hallway? We'll never know, but apparently we weren't in the door yet.
Carl points the light back up above the door, and sure enough, there's a 301 up there. TJ and I stand next to him, both staring into the dark room.
I'm trying to remember. That might have been Blythe's classroom in the Murdoch route in the smoke room, but I don't remember offhand. But anyway, hey, I think this might actually be the room you saw the thing staring at you from. Remember your mental illness, Chase? I'll remind you.
I'm just
Carl.
waiting for TJ to tell Carl to shut the fuck up.
Carl, will you just shut up?
There's a warning tone in TJ's voice. I rub my chin.
Actually, yeah, I think it is. Thanks for the yet another reminder, Carl.
Yeah, Carl. You know, we can all probably run faster than you if we trip you, right?
We don't have to outrun the
We don't have to
monster.
outrun
We
the
just
bear,
have
we
to
just have to
outrun
outrun
you.
TJ
We weren't in
sighs.
sync yet.
TJ sighs loudly and closes his eyes.
Guys, please, can we just... What?
Yeah, I'm Carl. I'm excited.
Ah!
Carl thrusts his hands into TJ's side as he yells, sending TJ into a hysteric fit of screaming and grabbing onto me. I stumble as I try to keep the lynx from rending my flesh with his claws.
Oh shit! Sorry. Oh,
Carl reaches out to, I assume, comfort TJ, but gets a backhand across the face in response.
You ass!
I watch the two of them with wide eyes, never having seen TJ so indignant. Carl stares back, a hand up to his cheek.
I was gonna say we should have like a TJ swears counter. I mean, it wouldn't get very high, but
Yeah.
it would be fun to notice.
It would have to be like this. It'd have to be like this surprise, like furry, like the little emoticon where it has like the hands up by the face, up on the face, like oh my gosh, like that on either cheek, and it just goes oh
No. We just have like the boy kisser cross the screen. Be like, you like saying swears.
What
Anyway,
is that?
whoa.
All right, let's start looking.
As if nothing had happened, TJ takes my phone and strides into the room, his tail twitching in irritation.
Can't believe you slapped me. Like, where was that in the thing? Did I miss that?
Carl calls after him, but gets no response. I smile, trying not to laugh as I walk past the ram.
And you?
I slap the ram.
The ram goes and talks to Jenna
That
about
sounds
it.
like
She
Frog,
slaps the
yeah.
ram as well.
Yeah,
We get
Jenna
back
runs
to the-
in from the car, gets
we
a
get-
full running start, just runs by with a slap, and then just runs back to the car.
Police officer shows up, runs
Slaps
in,
the car.
slaps Carl.
Goes back on his patrol like nothing happened.
He asks me, rubbing his cheek as he follows me in.
Hey, you asked for it. Probably not the best time to scare him. I mean, he has those really sharp claws. I mean, he's slashed me already in the game. Carl, saying. Yeah, whatever. What the hell are we looking for anyway? I mean, other than a note like we established with the last two notes?
I look around. From what I can see, there's not much left in the room. A few desks are pushed up against the wall, and aside from a chalkboard and map at one end of the room, there's nothing else. I go over to stand by TJ at the other end of the room, looking at the desks.
I would like to see a map of the Echo world. Like, what's their geography class like? Here's Huxley Land. Instead of America, it's Colombia. Over here, there's Batavia, or however it would work.
Not much left in
Anyway,
here, is there? TJ sweeps the light around the room, frowning.
Not really.
He points the light at Carl, who is at the other end of the room by the chalkboard.
Anything written on the chalkboard, Carl?
Carl shines his light on the board, then gasps.
what? There it is. It's a whole lot of deep, which I'm totally excited for.
Carl steps to the side, pointing his light at the board, and sure enough, it's covered in countless drawings of dicks. TJ sighs.
Chase is just like, oh, that one looks like Leo. Yep, that one looks like Leo. Oh, that other one looks like Leo. Meh. Anyway, I mean, we're bound to hit a robot event.
I trail off, staring at the window at the far end of the room where I see a small looking box on the ledge.
What's
I
that?
point and TJ shines a light over at it. A metal toolbox glints back at us. TJ immediately walks over to it and I follow him. Carl joins us as TJ fiddles with the latches, popping them open. There's a soft creak as he lifts the lid, a tray extending out as he does. And there, sitting in the tray, is another folded piece of paper.
There's no way. Yeah, makes no sense. It's like someone put it here right now.
Why not?
TJ gently picks up the note, handing me back my phone.
Shine that on this for me, please.
Someone would have had to taken it by now because people love taking random notes out of toolboxes. Well known fact.
Well, they didn't, see?
TJ had unfolded it, and he shows me the handwriting, the exact same we'd seen on the other two notes. I frown, but I don't say anything more. Maybe it did just sit here for the past 10 years, no one wanting to bother with an odd-looking toolbox. But this place is broken into regularly, with the whole point being to tag and take stuff. Someone definitely should have taken it by now. This is all on top of the idea that Sydney came in here as a little kid just to hide a note. Something isn't right, and I'm starting to feel uneasy. Wow, just now you're starting to feel uneasy?
Not in the haunted old school? Huh.
Strange, none of you have weapons to defend yourselves with when, like, some crazy-ass bear shows up? I don't have time to dwell
Or an
on that, though.
ectoplasm?
Yeah, I don't have time to dwell on that, though, as TJ begins to read. So you went to the school. You found it with some old tools. Next, go to where I sleep. It's where I keep my secrets, something Chase can't keep. Sid.
Ouch.
It's silent for a moment as we all take that in.
Ethan must feel called
I
out.
feel my face flush and my fur prickles. And my fur prickle as I wonder what in the hell that last line was supposed to mean. Carl and TJ don't look at me, but I sense that they want to. Carl is the first one to make a sound, clearing his throat.
So, Sydney's grave? I mean, bedroom, maybe?
Grave. Yeah, that's where he sleeps now. The bottom of the lake. No.
Only Chase can get down there because he's an otter.
That's what I'm thinking. This is a kid writing this stuff. So it should be pretty straightforward. We just have to go to his room.
I shake my head.
Really, guys? Really?
TJ finally looks over at me.
What?
There's a defensive tone in TJ's voice, and I know he knows what I'm about to say.
This this is way too much.
TJ frowns at me.
Too much what?
You know, as a gay man, TJ, I like me some camp, but this is just getting too campy. Like even I, Chase Hunter, am not too gay is too gay for me. You know.
I trail off, not used to TJ looking at me this way. He lets the silence drag on, and I look over to Carl for help. He clears his throat again.
You know, Teach, this is really weird. Like someone would have probably taken it by now. So like it's sus as hell. Which one of among us could have done this?
Why does that have to be the case? People could have just missed it. We almost did.
TJ looks back down at the note, holding it in both paws. I reach out for it, but TJ pulls it back like I'm going to try and steal it from him.
Can I look at it for a second? You know, here near this open flame, and oh, oops, it caught fire. TJ can't do it anymore.
TJ hesitates, then holds it out to me slowly. I eye the links as I reach out, taking the note from him gently. TJ's behavior alone has me deciding that this whole thing is definitely a bad idea. The note looks old, just like the first two we found. The writing looks the same, too. Maybe it is possible that Sydney came in here to hide the note, wanting to make this scavenger hunt especially scary for us, but still, I can't shake the feeling that something is off about it. I need to find time to I need to find time to really think about this. For now, though, I hand the paper back to TJ, who takes it from me gingerly, as if worried it'll fall apart.
Carl, do you know who lives in Sydney's old house now?
Carl tips his head back as if thinking.
I can't remember his name, but he's like a red panda. I think his name's like Agresco.
Well, let's go then.
I give a start.
To the house? His family moved out right after. It's like, you know, after that horrible tragedy, they wanted to get away. It happened. There's no way it's still there, TJ.
The other two were.
This is different, though. We have to break and enter, which we've already done once tonight. You know, you can't do it twice in one night. That's double jeopardy. Think logically, TJ.
We might as well try.
I, I can't imagine showing up to the new homeowner and telling him about Sydney and this post-humanist scavenger hunt and him just letting us in. But the determined look on TJ's face tells me right away that I won't be able to talk him out of it. I sigh.
Well, we can at least do it tomorrow, you know, during daylight, and it would be less weird than us waking him up in the middle of the night for this, TJ.
I look at my phone. It's almost.
It's almost 10, which is early for Carl.
TJ doesn't say anything as he looks out the window, his face barely visible in the darkness. Carl shifts around next to me.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. I haven't had like video games in like an hour, so I need like my fix. We have all day tomorrow.
TJ suddenly turns around and heads for the door.
Fine. But we are going. I am, at least.
Carl glances at me, probably feeling as uneasy as I am.
Yeah, TJ's just gonna, you know, press on by himself. You know, he doesn't need no friends. He don't need no man. Hey, coming too. I just think it would be easier.
TJ doesn't respond, and we make the rest of the treacherous journey out of the school in silence. Jenna looks up from her phone as I slide into the driver's seat. Find anything?
Yeah,
Another note?
yeah.
Well, what did it say? I busy myself with searching my pockets for the keys, so Jenna turns in her seat to look back at Carl and TJ. Well?
Next one is at Sydney's old house.
What? Really?
Yes, we're going there tomorrow, which is only 2 hours away.
TJ doesn't offer anything more, so Jenna turns back around in the seat and gives me a look. She seems to sense the mood, though, and doesn't question any further. As I stick the key into the ignition, TJ speaks up again.
Chase, what did he mean by you not keeping secrets?
A moment of silence goes by before I answer.
TJ, I told you, quit asking me about my many and sundriest murders. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I lay awake next to TJ, listening to the lynx's steady breathing. I've been tossing and turning for the past 3 hours, trying to get some sleep, but my mind won't settle. This whole scavenger hunt has left me with such a bad taste in my mouth. Something about it is especially unsettling, and I've turned it over in my mind, examining it from every angle, and now I'm sure of it. I saw that fox hanging in the forest after Sydney died. That's why I was there in the first place. That's why I've been so sad. I turn over on my side, gripping my pillow in both paws as I stare at the wall, listening to TJ's soft snore behind me. So, how the hell is any of this happening? It's scary, but not because I think Sydney's ghost is riding scavenger hunts or some stupid shit like that. No. Someone wrote the notes pretending to be Sydney, then planted them around town for us to find. And that someone is likely one of us. Leo, Carl, Jenna, Flynn, or even TJ. Are any of us sick enough to do something like that? And if so, who? I try to remember if I told anyone about that incident in the forest before today, but I honestly can't remember. Apparently, my mom had told some people about it, Jenna's parents for one, but I can't imagine Jenna being among the aforementioned. So, whoever's writing them seems to like singling me out too, mentioning the forest and how I told secrets. I roll back to stare at the ceiling and start wondering about TJ. He's been acting awfully. He's been acting really strange the past few days. His bright, cheerful demeanor almost completely gone after we started this treasure hunt. I guess it's possible that he's upset enough to do something that's as crazy as this. Maybe it could make him feel like he's connecting to the person he'd watched die over a decade ago. Maybe he did it maybe he did it a long time ago and it's now only now that we've come across them. Maybe he can't remember because he buried those memories. Those papers do seem pretty old, but I can't shake the feeling that this person has it out for me in some way. I think about Carl. I think about how Carl was the one to find the first letter. But I almost immediately dismiss the idea that Carl might be involved. He would have no reason to do it, unless the only other person I can even imagine doing this is Flynn. He was the one most upset by Sydney's death, aside from TJ. Carl and Flynn seem to have grown pretty close over the past year or so. Could the two Will them be involved somehow?
Your boyfriend's.
It's pretty suspicious that it would just show up in Carl's basement. I roll back on my side, preferring to stare at the wall. I don't like suspecting my friends like this, but this whole thing is messed up on so many levels, and I'm really worried about TJ. Depending on how this all ends, it could make things even worse for him. Considering how Flynn treated TJ at the river, I wouldn't be surprised if it's leading up to something terrible. And on top of all of that, there's the insidious way that these rhymes refer to me. I decide that I'm going to have to do something after we find the next note, depending on what it says. If we even find it at all. I'm hoping that we don't.
Give you $1.
No.
$5. I'm still hot, even though we're in child mode.
No.
And I'm
No.
rich. You could buy like 20 candy bars with that money. Because
I'm not going in.
All right. Quit yelling.
Carl and I swing side by side, synchronizing our legs so that we swing back and forth at the same time. As always, it doesn't work because Carl's so much heavier than I am. The wind feels good on my fur, finally cooling me down after being out in the heat all day. Toby sits on top of a slide next to us, watching with a bored look on his face.
It's my turn, Chase.
In a minute.
It's been like 15 minutes.
Toby sighs and sits back, pouting. I look back over at the old school and smile.
But if you go inside, I'll let you. That's no way a double entendre.
No.
Toby's shout seems to echo around us, even I giggle.
Fine.
We swing a little longer, the rhythmic squeaking of the chains being the only sound.
When's Sydney coming back with the popsicles? He's taking forever, even though I'm the ice cream boy. Maybe his mom caught him and made him stay home? You know, they are abusive. Ugh.
Carl leans back in the swing, and I feel the entire thing shift around. I wonder if it's going to collapse.
Yeah, that's right. Carl is now secretly the Blob from X-Men, so he just has gravitational powers.
Mm-hmm.
We should like go to your house, Chase. It's too hot, and you have a pool.
I want to swing.
I lower my feet and let them kick through the dirt as I slow myself down, sending a cloud of dust in the air. This talk about Sydney reminds me of something. Something I'd been told about yesterday, and now that he isn't here.
Hey guys, my mom told me about Sid, which we established we don't call him, but yesterday I learned something about him yesterday.
Toby's already slid down the slide and walked up next to me, holding one of the chains of the swing as he tries to push me out of the seat.
Don't push me, Toby. You want to hear it? It's a secret.
I move to stand between the two swings as Carl kicks his hooves into the dirt next to us.
Keep swinging, Carl. I want to swing with you.
What? What's the secret? Is it that he's gay?
Swing, Carl.
Because like I totally think that he's gay.
Swing, Carl. Swing,
Wait a
sweet
minute, it's
Carl.
weird.
Sweet chariot.
Wait a minute, it's really weird now that you've ruined my momentum, TJ.
Ha ha ha.
That seems to finally catch Toby's attention, and he settles down.
What?
Carl and Toby stare at me for the first time stare at me, and for the first time I feel a little worried about telling them, but having their full attention like this is kind of cool.
You know what happened to Sid's dad a while ago? When school started, right? Huh? Huh? You guys remember? Yeah.
Carl's completely stopped on the swing now, staring at me.
Well, my mom says, so you know this is true. The cops think it's really weird that happened. What happened?
Sydney's dad died. He's in heaven now. There's nothing weird about that. Also, I'm Mormon, so I know he's got a planet.
Toby says it matter-of-factly and starts to swing a little again.
Even if you're a Mormon, you can go to heaven. My dad said so.
Yeah, but we don't know he died. He's supposed to be disappeared according to a different route, so this is weird. But did you know how he died?
I start whispering and I look over my shoulder at the dirt road to see if Sid is coming. It's empty for now.
He accidentally got shot while hunting with Sid.
That's what the adults told us, that he was accidentally shot. Maybe while he was loading his gun.
My mom said they aren't sure if that really happened though. He might have been possessed by a ghost in a haunted van and committed suicide. We don't know. What do you mean?
Toby seems to have taken interest again and stopped swinging, staring at me.
Well, maybe Sid did something. You know, clearly the first thing is to accuse a 10-year-old of murder. That's clearly all cops always start with that first assumption.
Carl frowns.
Like Sydney did it with the candlestick in the library. I mean, like, I don't know. But my mom said be careful around him. It's not like he's possessed with a ghost or something right now.
Toby's eyes suddenly widen even more as he suddenly understands.
Sydney killed his dad? Everyone was saying that his dad just looked down the barrel when he shouldn't have, and it shot him in the head.
He just starts hyperventilating.
Yeah, hyperventilating, so spasming on the swing was like way up in the air. Just starts
Clearly wasn't possessed by a ghost. I mean, there are no ghosts in Echo.
That's right.
Certainly, Samuel Ayers has nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah, I think DJ just starts having a like a seizure dance while the swing is just going back and forth. It's really high.
Toby flinches as I grab his muzzle with one paw, squeezing it shut.
Shut the fuck up.
No, TJ just sits there like it's the sad Naruto swing of just like, look at everyone else having fun.
And I'm sad.
You have to keep it a secret. Even though I'm blabbing constantly. I just heard it. I'm
Toby
telling
just
everybody.
sits there, staring at me. Carl does the same. And I kind of wish that I hadn't told them.
They don't know, though. My mom just said it to be careful. That's it. It might have been an accident, but it might have been murder.
I
Just saying,
talk
guys.
kind of fast, like I'm trying to take back what I just said. I let go of Toby, but he just sits there and doesn't swing. Carl just stares at the ground, then his ears flick up. A few seconds later, I hear scuffing footsteps making their way up the dirt road, and I turn around to see Sydney jogging towards us. His arms are filled with colorful ice pops wrapped in plastic.
Oh, who's going to do Sydney? Oh, you know, I think we should let Kaiser do Sydney since.
Okay, go for it.
Go for it.
Hey, sorry. I had to go to the basement freezer to find some. They're super wolf pops. Behold my tiny voice.
He stumbles up next to us, kicking up another cloud of dust. He stands there for a second, breathing heavily, sweating through his thick fur.
Grab one?
The three of us reach out automatically and take one of our own. Mine is partially melted already, blue liquid pooling at one end of the plastic. Sydney frowns at us.
What were you guys talking about? Nothing.
Carl says it almost before Sydney can finish the sentence. Sydney glares.
Yeah, right. What were you guys talking about? Was it about my dad, who we shouldn't know is dead? He's just missing?
Sydney turns on me and I just shake my head, busying myself with opening the plastic. Then Sydney turns to Toby, his glare turning into a smirk.
All right, Tobias, you better tell me what you were talking about, because I'll beat you with my fisticuffs.
I feel my stomach turn even as I open the package and I turn it upside down to pour out the sweet blue juice into my mouth.
Tell me or I'm gonna wrestle you.
Sydney goes at Toby with his paws up, baring his blunt claws. Toby eyes him for a moment, but once Sydney gets close to the lynx twists out of the way, like only a cat can.
Don't touch me!
Toby hides behind Carl, and I as Sydney turns to watch him, lowering his paws slowly.
Wrong.
Toby doesn't say anything, standing behind me quietly. I can feel his cold ice pop against my back. We stand in silence for a while, and I can see Sydney trying to figure out what's going on. I try to think of something fast.
Tommy, let's go to my house and play on the trampoline. Trampoline's fun. I can punch TJ way super far off it.
Carl hops out of the swing and starts walking towards the road. I follow him as Toby clings to my side. Sydney doesn't follow, and after a moment, I turn back to look at him. He's glaring at me.
Ah,
He goes on glaring before throwing his ice pop into the dirt and running past us.
you guys suck.
He runs up the road and back towards town, disappearing into the bright sunset.
Friday. Wait, Friday?
Friday.
Friday. Everyone's got to get down on Friday.
Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Rebecca
Friday.
Black. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All
Yes,
right.
It is Friday.
So I guess that is
That's
it.
the end of the stream.
See you
all
into the
right.
stream. Went a little
Everyone who
over.
came by, thank you for coming, and we will catch you all
Next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.